We here!
Yes, sir!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 6 Yard Box podcast. You are tuning in for episode 88, where we are delivering yet another edition of international break coverage, where collectively, all three of us have maybe watched like 5 games here, but we're going to
All two of us have watched 5 games.
All two of us.
All two of us.
All two of us.
All two of
Because
us.
how many games have you watched, Julian?
Listen, it's a very busy time
Yeah.
with schoolwork and,
Yappa.
different commitments, but I'm excited for a week or two where assignments are pretty much done.
Look,
school is out and we can just focus on the football.
It just really shows the level of commitment from the role of the Dice manager,
Yeah.
right?
What are we doing?
We,
Why are
agreed.
we? No, we're not talking about
This is
FPL. We're not
comparable
talking
to
about
the
FPL.
resignation of Chiabadia Chile,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Okay.
And you just have to weigh out your priorities and really
Absolutely.
ultimately find out what is the bigger priority to you. And
Absolutely.
clearly we see his intentions with that. Too.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
It's sad to see, but
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Welcome back. I am joined here by Blake and Antoine, and today we're going over a little bit of international break football. But as some of you may know, when we do episodes like this, whenever international break comes, we need to get a little bit creative with our episode rundowns. So we're going to quickly go over the games that have happened over the past 7 days, and then
some of them.
we are getting into our underrated 11.
Yes. What?
We did overrated 11 a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
There were some notable picks in there.
Yep.
We clipped a few up and they did pretty
Notable.
well. So we're delivering the exact opposite today, where we're just talking good about players and we're flexing that football knowledge, which some of us have put to use more than others.
What was the occasion for the overrated 11? Like, what was it? Wasn't international break.
It wasn't?
I don't think so because this is the first one of the year.
I don't know. I forget.
Maybe
Well, I
FA
know
Cup.
whenever we do international break, we do
think it was-
something.
Might have been FA Cup
Yeah,
or
probably
something.
FA Cup.
Yeah.
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 Like I think we did last international break. I think we did the tier list, the signings tier list,
Yes.
or other things.
Where you put
other
Mbappe
things like
as
that.
a flop transfer, right?
But at the time, we're doing this again. At the time, it was a valid pick. So I'm not having that.
Okay.
Anyways.
Fair.
Let's go around the table. Blake, my friend, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I don't know.
How's
Seem a
your-
little irritated right now.
Me, I'm not irritated.
No?
No.
You sure?
I'm good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the viewers
I'm
about,
just like-
about your weekend.
Why?
Oh,
Wait,
okay,
why?
Or don't. Or don't.
No,
I think it was a good story.
No, we just had like a little birthday weekend. I went to Nobu.
Love
So,
that.
like I thought we were talking about footy. Like they don't really care about my
Yeah,
Nobu
they don't.
life, do they? They don't really care.
They really
You
don't.
guys care.
They care about your kit though. I
It's a
will
ve-
say.
it's a very good kit. It's a very good
Um,
kit. One of my favorites in the collection,
Okay.
for sure.
Informed player on the back too.
Well,
Yeah. Fuck.
it doesn't have hamstring, so
Yeah.
might be a little hard for that to be true.
Yeah.
But
Anton, how about you? How you doing?
I'm doing great, lads. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good little weekend. I was able to catch up on some footy games, notably the U21 England versus U21 France game, which I thought
what are
was
we doing?
we're
No,
not
we-
doing
what are
this,
we
bro.
doing?
this is football heritage. We have to say. Otamendi, Fernandinho, these are investments from the past. No, but seriously, it was seriously a good game. Like
That's crazy.
it was free on YouTube, so I was like, why not?
Really?
Let me watch it. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it was a good little game.
Wow.
But yeah,
Who stood out?
who stood out? Ryan Shirky, the only name, or not the only name, but the best player on that pitch. Seriously, like he really balled out.
Who else played?
Hugo Ekitike, Quentin Merlin, Acliouche played for France. Harvey Elliott played for England. And you had Liam Delap. You had
No one airy.
Nono Neri on the bench. I don't know why.
That's
I don't
embarrassing.
even think he came
That's embarrassing.
on. Yeah, quite embarrassing. Omari Hutchinson got sent off.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He kind of fell off, eh?
I
Did
still
he?
see the potential in that player. But
Yeah, the team they just suck, so it's hard for him to get minutes or get meaningful minutes rather.
it was a very open game. Like you can see the difference in level between the U21s and the professional players playing for their national teams.
Well, I mean, there was a U21 on the
fair enough.
English team that showed out this week.
Let me just say first, before you get into that rubbish talk, this is a new jersey I'm debuting on the podcast. We've got the Desiree Doué on us today. What a baller.
And
me
you
say.
ordered that the second PSG went through against Liverpool?
Yeah, I'd say approximately 10 minutes after that penalty with the my order had been placed.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yep.
Okay. Do you wanna get into your England talk, Blake?
No, I don't.
Oh,
because-
No.
no, I don't. Because
God,
once
bro.
again,
Oh
you
my
see, you said
God.
rubbish talk. It ain't rubbish talk.
It ain't
all
rubbish
right?
talk. You're right. I was
It's
just
diamond in the rough. All
Okay.
right.
in the rough. What rough?
Well, England's like the rough. I guess
Are
have,
they the rough?
I guess they have Tommy now, so it's a little different.
Yeah, I don't think they're the rough.
No, they're not. No, Desiree Doué, valid,
Thank you.
valid.
Thank you.
Can't even deny.
Mhm.
Not as valid as Miles Lewis-Kelly this week.
Stop
I'm not
this
gonna
right
lie.
now.
I'm not gonna lie.
Let's stop this right now.
No, because not only does this man get hate for the Holland thing, which was unrightfully brought forth
That was-
upon him.
I think
No,
that
it
was
wasn't,
just.
Julian. I'm gonna
That
fight
was
you. No,
just.
it wasn't.
That
No,
was
it wasn't. Oh, you're so stupid. You just don't know what it's like to play in big games, so you don't understand what that feels like.
He called you a small game player.
He
He said you don't take pens in
He doesn't, bro. He
in-
doesn't. He's not like that. You're not like that. Secondly, he gets called up to the England squad, which he rightfully deserves because fullback, especially left back, is something. What? Luke Shaw's gonna go up?
Fair.
Ben Chilwell? No. All
No.
right, these guys are from the past.
Fair.
He gets the call up right
That's good. That was good.
from the past.
Good reference.
He rightfully gets called up because he's the best player to play in that position, and then he gets hate for whatever reason because what he's wearing, because people call him arrogant, blah blah blah. Then he goes out. Am I crazy? Who do they even play? This is so casual.
Albania.
Albania, yeah. Goes out against Albania. 20 minutes. What?
Albania attacks.
Okay. 20
Sorry.
minutes into the game. 20 minutes, 25 minutes into the game, into his first senior call up for the England national team at left back, and scores a beautiful goal to put the team ahead. And you could see the emotion on his face. It was a great finish. Meg's the keeper. And the rush of happiness and joy I'm sure he was feeling was fantastic. And I'm sure all the players felt that for him as well. After everything this kid has gone through and how he's had to step up because Arsenal's had injuries and he's had to step up for England because he's the best player in that position right now for the team. It's amazing to see after all the hate he's received, after his performances, he just deserves this moment. And I'm so happy for him because he is genuinely such a talented young player.
That's valid.
That's so valid.
That's so valid. I think the youngest ever debutant scorer in England history.
are correct.
That's a hell of an honor.
You are
Wow.
correct.
Yeah.
And he, like I said, he has the mentality. I think he does clearly get a bit too into it sometimes with the red card.
Well, that's just a maturity thing. It'll come with time, right?
exactly.
You'd
The
hope
silly
so.
challenges and the things that he shouldn't do on
Exactly.
the pitch and the head loss.
Yeah.
That'll leave his game very soon.
But the big game ability is there. Big goal against Albania, big goal against Man City, and he's like courageous. That's the thing with
That's
the
what you
fullback
want.
position, like and just a player in general. You want them to be courageous and take risks, calculated risks that you know will pay off. That's what he does.
That's valid.
It's very
That is
valid.
valid.
Mentality worthy of Ashley Cole, or let me chill.
We'll keep it as that. Well, that's all I have to say about the game.
Bro, I saw a post saying current Miles Lewis-Kelly or prime Luke Shaw. I was like, Jesus Christ, we're going a little bit too
No,
far here.
Blake. Let's not. Please.
Okay.
Don't do this.
Okay. I'm not doing it.
Please. Let's
Luke Shaw's whole career has been a joke, though.
Like I agree, but it's a joke because he's been so good when he's healthy
Yeah, fair.
and on form, and there's clearly talent there. It's frustrating because
Luke
he's
Shaw
never
underrated
reached that
11?
talent.
Chat?
No. Availability is
Oh my god, every day.
the best.
If Miles Lewis-Kelly, if Arsenal make it to the Champions League final and Miles Lewis-Kelly scores in the Champions League final, he's already better than Luke Shaw.
Well, yeah.
Because then that's Luke Shaw's biggest achievement. In the Euros final, he
Yeah.
scored that goal.
Yeah.
If he scores in the Champions League final, then we have to win because
So if you lose 4-1, but Miles Lewis-Kelly
Yes.
gets a consolation.
yes, unless no.
It's 4-0. It's 4-0.
No. It has to be like
the lads are
it
already
has to be like
celebrating on the bench.
no, it has to be like a go-ahead goal. It has to be a go-ahead goal. All right, you can move on to the next game.
All right.
This is why I classify it as rubbish talk, because he'll make sense
That's
of
what
some
I'm
of these
saying,
arguments,
bro.
but then he'll get
Right.
carried away and just say some bullshit.
Right. Because who said Luke Shaw versus Miles Lewis-Kelly? It wasn't me. It was rage baiting from him, and then he goes, "Oh, this is why
I
garbage
brought
talk."
up Miles Lewis-Kelly
Rage
versus
bait.
Luke Shaw, and you
rage
went.
bait. No, he went.
No, he did it.
Okay, then you did it as well. You guys both. You
I
can't
said-
bring
I
it-
brought
it- I
you
brought it
can't
up and
bring
you
it up
went-
and then
and you
ask
went.
me.
I said Albania tax. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't bring it up.
But then
and
you
I-
bring up very good points here, Blake. You bring up very, very good points. But then you kick it off like you put a cherry on top of like, by the way, if he does this arbitrary thing, that's probably never gonna happen.
Don't poke the bear.
He's way better than
Kyle
this guy.
Lowry, don't poke the bear.
What?
Don't poke the bear.
What?
Don't poke the bear.
What?
Mess with the bull, you get the horns.
What are you?
Rub the bee, you get the sting. You know.
All right. All right.
You can go France. Go France.
Are we going Portugal first?
I mean, there's not much to say about Portugal. It was our first games in the Puma kits.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
You don't like him?
Of course I don't like
No,
them.
you're more that. Are we like that kit you have on right now? Is that the best Portugal kit of all time?
My favorite.
Like-
I wouldn't say the
No, like
best.
design wise, not like legacy or like what the jersey like symbolizes in terms of good years for Portugal, but just the design itself.
This will be in some Porto museum in a few years.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
yeah, it's gorgeous.
I think if we actually did something good at the Euros in this
You
kit,
don't like it?
it'd be much better.
I don't hate it. It's not bad. It's not my favorite. It is nice though.
It's like a historic like wall design in Portugal.
Fair.
Like in all like the castles, like they would have this. Like you go to Lisbon, you go to Porto, you go to any of like the big locations, and like this kind of like design is everywhere.
Mm.
It's like Portuguese hieroglyphics,
Nice.
some shit like that. I
It's
don't know.
always nice when these kits have cultural significance behind them.
Facts.
It's cool.
Facts. But yeah, in terms of like historical weight you add to
Yeah,
it,
no,
we
like,
didn't do much in this kit.
You didn't do anything.
I think
in that
we
kit.
played one game in it, and we lost to Georgia, like in the year, like
In
in
the
a
Euros,
competitive
right,
game.
right.
Yeah.
Valid.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out Miko Tadze.
Shout out Migo Tadze.
They also ruined this kit in the Euros
Might give him a shout out
by.
later.
You know what I hate? This is my biggest pet peeve in football.
You know what's crazy
What?
is this is him deflecting because he didn't watch any of the Portugal games.
We're
and now
gonna
he's
get.
just-
I literally was about to start talking about
I did
it,
bring up the kit.
and then he brings up
I
the
did
kit.
bring up the kit.
So don't even give me that.
But then you're just gonna want to take. Okay, go ahead.
This is international break. We can go on these tangents.
Yeah.
My biggest pet peeve in football: beautiful kit with terrible shorts combination.
That's so random, bro. Like
No, because
Give me
we
an
rep
example. Give me an
we
example.
rep this in the Euros
with green shorts.
with disgusting aqua blue shorts. It looked horrendous. I think like when the players started sweating, it was starting like so. It looked bad.
Oh, okay.
It looked bad.
That's fair.
But
I
if you
guess.
put that with like some nice black shorts,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Fair.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like I think a nice United kit goes so much better with black shorts.
No.
Than white
No,
shorts.
No.
oh my God, bro.
What is that,
You're weird.
brother?
You're so weird.
No.
That's my personal
United
take.
with the white shorts.
Yeah,
that's
white
a-
shorts,
come
red
on.
and white, bro.
Come on.
That's my personal take. My personal take.
Do you want your home kit right now with black shorts?
That look disgusting.
That'd be awful.
That'd be awful.
Maybe I've lost the plot here.
Yeah,
All right.
Talk about the game.
All right. Let me actually talk about the game. I did not know there's a second leg.
Really?
I thought so.
I didn't
Hoyland
either.
first leg grabs the winner after an Eriksson mispen, and I thought, wow, they knocked us out. That's crazy. My boy Hoyland doing me like that. 3 days later, oh, we're playing Denmark. What the fuck is the point of this game? I realized that it's the second leg
Unbelievable.
of the Nations League quarterfinal,
Casual.
and yeah, it's down to the wire. It's 2-2. Trincao randomly scoring right before the end of normal time, scoring right after the beginning of extra time. And then we go on to win, I believe, like 5-3 on aggregate, whatever it may have been.
Yeah.
So
It's so random that Trincao is the one popping up and doing good.
Where's he playing now?
Ronaldo
he's been
missed-
really good. He's been really good for Sporting this year.
Yeah.
Oh, sport.
Candidate for under 11.
Really?
He's not in it.
Okay.
Mm.
If you had put him in there, I would have really gone at you for the recency bias there because you can't do that after. he
Another
scores
name
so
I was
much.
debating,
Mm.
putting Quenda in.
Giovanni. Again.
A very,
No,
very
yes.
highly talented 17-year-old, but he's going to Chelsea, so shit.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, man.
Ronaldo missed a pen in this game, Julian.
This is the thing again. Like
Oh, you're getting him on Ronaldo talk. Here we go.
you never want.
Start playing the sad music.
No. You never want a player. You're never wishing for like a player's career to take a little dip.
But
When is somebody gonna? We've had the same conversation 6 months ago. When is somebody gonna sit him down and just be like, "Why are you still starting for Portugal? You're actively holding your country back from winning the big trophies that you want them to win. You want to be a sub at the 2026 World Cup. You want to be a super sub to come on in the last 15, 20 minutes and change a game and grab a goal and still get those glory moments of the big moments. Go ahead, sure. But Gonçalo Ramos should unequivocally be starting in this Portugal team over Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't like. Of course, the legacy is something very significant, and I think indirectly it has led to this golden generation of Portugal players that have grown up looking up to Cristiano Ronaldo. But that does not mean that he still has the on-field talent to carry us to those international trophies that we want. And with the World Cup like just over a year away, we need to be having these serious conversations about who should be starting in this team if we want the best chances to win. And I think we've known this since after the last World Cup.
Yeah.
Those best chances do not come with Ronaldo starting. But I think just because of politics, this borderline 40-year-old is starting for us. Is starting for one of the best national teams in the world, and we're going to suffer for it.
It was the main topic of discussion in the 2024 Euros because he was starting over Gonzalo Ramos there, and it was a big topic in the World Cup 2022. I remember Gonzalo Ramos scored a hat-trick against Switzerland, and everybody was saying he should be starting over Ronaldo.
Yeah.
That game, the next game, he doesn't start over Ronaldo, and you guys get eliminated. Yeah. Or no, does he start? Yeah, he does.
He
against Morocco.
Yes.
He does start against Morocco.
Yes.
Gonzalo does.
Yes.
Okay.
But it was one of the big reasons that our manager at that time got sacked because of the politics playing into that.
I just don't see how this Portuguese team can succeed with Ronaldo at striker. There's no way Roberto Martinez wastes this generational Portuguese team with talent all across the board. Seriously, talent all across the board. Seriously. From the keeper to the striker. Every player there is stacked. There's so many up-and-coming talents in the Portuguese league, even in Liga. You see Vitinha, João Neves, Nuno Mendes. All these players that are seriously ballers.
Yeah.
Roberto Martinez cannot waste this by starting an aging Ronaldo in that team. He has to start.
But my worry then goes to like, okay, what were the conditions given to Roberto Martinez when he took the job?
Yeah.
Was there somebody higher up at Portugal or somebody from the Ronaldo camp that had influence on the hiring, specifically telling Roberto Martinez like, hey, if you want this job, like, you have to start Ronaldo?
And it's definitely not pleasing to deal with the Ronaldo that you've benched after a game.
No.
Like, let's be honest.
Definitely not. And I get it. Ronaldo's mentality is exactly what made him one of the best players football has ever seen. But it has also been that mentality that has kind of led to this public downfall over the past couple of years. I don't want to say downfall because it's natural for a player to, regress as he ages, especially as he's approaching 40, whatever.
Like, it's incredible that he's even reached this age and still playing at a crazy level.
It was just the way that he ended things at United, kind of not accepting the obvious that he doesn't have the talent anymore. And now we're seeing the same thing 3 years later, mind you.
Yeah. Just caveat. I don't think that's a product of what happened at United. The United stuff is a whole different story besides him just losing his talent. There's more to it.
It's a bigger context.
There's more to it than that. I think
I'm talking about how
like his career after,
United in Ten Hag's first season, United played better without Ronaldo on the team. That's true. That's just true.
Sure.
And Ten Hag benched him for Martial, whatever, which obviously I wasn't saying Martial at that time was a better player than Ronaldo, but you could see it if you watch the games. We're much better without Ronaldo in the team and the striker helping out every stage of play. But not just Ronaldo and the media coverage around that, but just the way that he took it personally. It was just something very I don't know. Like, I mean, you saw in the Piers Morgan interview where like he was still talking the same way he would in 2018, 2016, 2009. And it's like you have to grow a little bit of humility as you age because Father Time is undefeated. But yeah, it's just a little bit sad. And then, like, I do genuinely think it's holding us back. Genuinely.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Striker's so important. Ronaldo wants, like, this is the part that gets me. Like, Ronaldo should, more than anything, want a World Cup for his country. Right? He should be willing to do anything for that. Right?
Yeah.
If I'm Ronaldo, even with an ego size of the fucking Mount Everest, I'm going, if you think it is best, if you think our chances of winning the World Cup is the highest with me coming off the bench, do it.
I don't think he ever gets to that point in his career where he realizes that, though. Because of, like you said, that mentality.
Exactly. But somebody's got to fucking talk to him.
Yeah.
Because he definitely has a bunch of yes men around him, too, that don't have these conversations with him. Mm-hmm. So it's really up to him himself to decide that. But I don't think he will.
I mean, I don't see Roberto Martinez sitting him down and be like, yeah, buddy, it's getting a little...
So when I see these lackluster performances from him, I hope it becomes obvious to the higher-ups at Portugal and to the management, and eventually becomes obvious to him, where we could all see and have that conversation. Because the more shit performances he has, the worse off we are, the easier it becomes to drop him. So it's kind of like, what do we want? Do we want to be having these shit performances with Ronaldo on the team right now, so that by 2026
I think we
know to start Gonzalo Ramos? Or if it's going well right now with Ronaldo, like I remember Ronaldo was starting our games before the last Euros and he was playing pretty well.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, this is why he should be starting. But look what happened.
Like the friendlies before the Euros, you mean?
Yeah, like he scored like a hat trick
Yeah,
against
yeah, yeah,
Ireland. I
yeah.
remember he scored a dodgy bicycle kick against Poland. I remember that. And everybody was saying like, this is why we need Ronaldo
Yeah.
on the team. So I don't feel that bad about underperforming in the Nations League. Yay, we made it to the next round, whatever. But I just hope more than anything, I don't care about this trophy, obviously, but more than anything, I just want to have that decision become so crystal clear before 14 months time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was way too long of a Ronaldo rant.
That's usually how they go.
That was
That's
way
usually
too
how they
fucking
go
long.
with you. But it's good. It's good to have these conversations once in a while about Ronaldo. I like it.
It's the same conversation.
It's the same
It
conversation.
is the same
every time,
conversation every time. But, yeah. Anyways,
It's like when he gets talking about the Glazers.
Yeah. Or the yeah.
No, but I'm actually more open to listening to Ronaldo talk than Glazer talk, to be
Yeah.
honest.
This
It
is-
feels fresh.
this is my boy. This is like
Mhm.
I grew up loving this guy.
Like
He's
you
my
meet
number
you
one.
meet him in person. Are you telling me like, bro, cut it off, cut it off, dude.
If I
You're-
get a call, not in person like in front of him, I wouldn't do this. But if I get a call saying that like, yeah, Julian, you're next week you're interviewing Ronaldo. I'm like, okay, thank you. Goodbye now. Hang up the phone. I'm crying right there on the spot because then it's hitting me. Meeting him in person, I'm not fucking breaking down. I'm not like fucking Speed when he met Ronaldo, like
Yeah.
in fucking tears. But having that moment, that's still my dream.
But you wouldn't tell him to.
But my number one dream growing up: interview Ronaldo, interview Kobe. One of those out the fucking window now. So, anyways,
Bro, like, why do you do this?
Every time, bro.
my god. I think we're 3 for 3 on
Always.
on stupid tangents
Probably.
just in the last 3 weeks. You had the
Probably.
alopecia one.
Yeah.
You had the something last
Shout
week.
out Swalvo, bro.
And great guys.
wish I posted that clip. Oh.
No, just no.
Should we go Canada?
Let's go
please,
Canada.
please go Canada.
If we want to start with the Mexico game, I can talk about it quickly.
Yeah.
The only gripe about the Mexico game I really have, I think a lot of people are talking about how Jesse Marsch got the team wrong. There's a bit of a conversation with the Ronaldo thing, with the Kyle Larin thing. Kyle Larin keeps playing, and it's like I feel like he's kind of outgrown the system, and the team in general. With Promise David, now coming up, and Oluwaseyi obviously scored in the third place match. However, there was a penalty, a supposed penalty that happened against Derek Cornelius in the Mexico game. The ref didn't see it, and then they went to VAR, and he didn't review it, and there was no penalty.
Bro.
Then in the final, Mexico did the exact same thing to a Panama player. I think it was the guy who scored. Against the States. The same thing happened. There's a ball in the air, and then it gets kicked. The defender kicks it from underneath. The exact same thing that happened to Derek Cornelius
And now
in the Canada game, and that one got a penalty. Honestly, CONCACAF refs are genuinely terrible.
Oh my god.
So I'm not surprised, but it's just frustrating. And Jesse Marsch has been talking about that throughout the whole tournament, like this little week. That's my one gripe. But ultimately, we owned the States again in every sport. Haha. But no, we played really well. Like, I think at the end of the day, the States are a mess right now.
Yeah.
They don't really have much, I don't know, belief in their team. There really isn't. There's not
Is
much
Greg
belief.
Berhalter? No, it's Pochettino now.
Pochettino, yeah. So I think he's gonna be disappointed because this is like one of his first like bigger tournaments that he's been with them. So, but on the Canada side of it, it's nice to see our two strikers score. Joe David with a really good goal. Oluwaseyi scored as well. And I think, I don't know, the midfield was good. The one thing that Canada does is they get really aggressive on the press and they leave a lot of gaps. And I think that's the way that Jesse Marsch wants us to play. But
Well, he's from the Red Bull school, so that's usually how they go. Those managers. Right?
exactly. But it does. We have fast, pacey defenders, so it makes sense. But it is scary, especially against like the Argentinas. We remember in the Copa America, the game one against Argentina.
Yeah.
There was like 7 breakaways in the first half. It was crazy. So there is some things that we need, but ultimately I think it was a good showing against the States, and something to build off of nonetheless. Yeah. Not much else to say.
I like that.
Solid.
Davies got hurt in
I saw
the
that pretty early.
first half, which sucked. It didn't look good either. So
no.
hopefully he's okay. But
Hopefully.
I was gonna mention you brought the Panama Mexico game. You saw the last minute goal, the penalty that
bro,
led to it.
there's
Yes.
actually match fixing. I'm
That's
telling you.
so funny.
There's
bro.
match fixing because why? What is that handball, first of all? And this penalty stuff. Like, I'm telling you, these CONCACAF refs and Mexico, like, I'm not going to insinuate anything, but
Lad, come on. There's no match fixing in CONCACAF.
There's no match fixing, but there's just incompetence.
that might be worse. That might be worse. Like, honestly, like, that might be worse. It's so frustrating because Canada's now good, so these matches really matter. So the fact that we have a squad that can compete and then there's still these terrible refs that are trusted to make decisions is so frustrating. But whatever.
Overall, I think a solid international break for Canada.
Yeah.
Yes, we're not going to win the CONCACAF Nations League.
Would you? How happy would you have been to win that?
Well, because Mexico won it, so I don't really.
I'm not losing sleep.
Yeah.
That we didn't win it. It's
a trophy.
It's the Nations League, bro. Like it's replacing the Gold Cup this year.
Yeah.
So
the Gold Cup
the
is
Gold
still
Cup would matter.
It's
or
still
something.
happening, but it's just like under 20 something. Like it's different. It's like not full.
Like the
first
Olympics.
team, kind of. I don't know the exact stipulations, but it is still happening.
Okay.
But it's not the full team.
So it's just even more bullshit now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just friendly games disguised, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the one caveat, not to interrupt you, I didn't.
Go on.
Is like since especially those three, the States, Mexico, and Canada, don't have World Cup qualifying for like the rest of the year. Their next competitive match is the World Cup.
Exactly.
There is no competitive match, so this like kind of did matter. It was like a bit of a tune-up. Like
the qualifiers is done.
well, we're automatically in.
Oh, right.
So it's like we don't have anything to play for, right? So these friendlies that are upcoming, obviously there's friendlies, and like this tournament really did matter to tune up and see where this team is and what needs to be figured out and who needs to be weeded out, like Kyle Aaron, before the World Cup actually happens next summer.
Exactly. That was the big reason why competitively this kind of mattered, and I think you have to talk about there's some political undertones as well. That you could ignore, especially with the Canada-US game.
Yeah.
So in that way, it was good to stick it to the 11th province.
Yeah.
But I think most importantly, it was the tune-up for the World Cup because I'm a little bit worried that we're not going to have that little run-up
Agreed. Yeah.
into it. Not that I feel like we talk about qualifying for them leading up to a World Cup and Euros way too much in terms of like, oh, they did so well in qualifying. They're guaranteed to do so good, especially when we're looking at underdogs. We did so well in CONCACAF qualifying for the last World Cup. Look what fucking happened.
Yeah.
So I don't think it matters all that. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Fair.
But I'm excited, man. I'm excited. This will probably boost our rankings in the
No, I doubt it.
in the national rankings. At least
Maybe a couple.
ahead of the
What's it
US
at now?
Couple
and shit.
spots.
I don't know where we are right now.
33 last time I checked.
33.
Where's Mexico? Where's US?
Mexico's top
Here.
20. US probably like 25. I guess.
No, US. I think the US is lower. I think
We're
US might-
31. We're 31.
I would be surprised if US is like
19.
15.
Mexico's 19 and the US
Like
is
10,
You're
11?
scamming it at this point.
US
Like,
is 16.
Yeah.
how?
Holy-
What have they done, dude?
Yeah.
What have they done? Literally went out in the groups last year. in
We
Copa America.
genuinely, I undoubtedly, I think we are the best team in CONCACAF. I really do.
Yeah.
I think we have the best manager. I think we have the best talent. I just think that we need to figure out who's playing striker, and our decision making has to really improve to prove that. But
I think Mexico will always be tricky,
yeah,
even if they don't have the names
Yeah.
that we usually know.
Yeah.
Anyways, shout out my boy Chris Mavinga. Saw a video of him in the pen of
Camavinga?
no Chris Mavinga,
TFC
former
player.
TFC guy.
Okay. Shout out.
Shout out. Have not
You know,
seen or heard that player.
Y'all
in a
see
while.
that Suso? You know Suso?
Yeah.
Yes,
The
might be
link to
coming
TFC? I
Yeah.
saw that. Is he
Big
still?
up. He's 31,
Okay.
He's a player.
So-
it's fine. I take him.
falling off, but not off the cliff yet.
It'd be a good little signing. Why not?
Yeah.
I just always worry, like, if they're gonna try.
do you
Because well, they could be an Insigne
Oh yeah.
That's yeah.
and just pack it in for the paycheck, or they could be Bernadeschi, who has his flaws still, you have to say, but tries.
Yeah, he was trying.
Yeah.
Okay, France.
Yeah, I'll do quickly because I really want to get into this over
Yeah,
11.
same.
For sure.
First leg was a 2-0 loss. I don't want to say surprisingly because from the starting 11, I was really surprised at what the hell I was seeing on my screen when I looked at the starting 11. You had Guendouzi and Rabiot playing, who are respectively having
That's crazy.
good seasons separately for Lazio and for Marseille. They're having decent seasons, but I don't know. It bothers me that France only play good as of late when their backs are against the wall. We're 2-0 down in the first half of the first leg. And in the second half, we show much more envy, much more fight, much more grinta, as they say,
Oh,
to score some goals. It doesn't come. because Livakovic turns into prime Neuer. But you can sense that there's more envy there. We want to score. Keep in mind, we're down 2-0. And then the second half, the second leg, is where Deschamps actually fields a very competent team. 4 attacking players, which is something I haven't seen since, my goodness, so long with Deschamps. Barcola, Olise, Dembele, and Mbappe on the same pitch all at once.
Team. Oh my God.
And it was night and day with the performances from the first leg and the second leg. I don't understand why every single time we are backs against the wall, we play like the best team in the world. I remember in 2018 when Argentina had us 2-1 down in the World Cup in the round of 16. We kicked our stride. Against Argentina in the 2022 World Cup in the final. We were down 2-0. In the second half, we kicked our stride. There's so many examples that I can give where France plays so much better when they're down and they need to score, where it's under pressure.
Yeah.
But it bothers me. Why can't we? Why do we have to be needing a goal to play good? Why do we have to be needing to lead the game to play good? Yeah, it doesn't sit right with me. I think Michael Olise has his first good game with the French national team, and I'm very happy about that because in the last international roundup or in the last international break, last 2, I think. He got called up 2 international breaks ago. He wasn't very convincing for us. I'm not gonna lie. He was quite poor for us. So I was expecting a little bit of the same. In the first leg, he comes off the bench, I think. In the second leg, he really plays well. He scores a free kick, which I haven't seen again from a French national team player since a long time. The fact that we actually have a dead ball specialist now, and it's not Mbappe taking free kicks because he's quite frankly can't, is big. It's really big. And we now have a competent keeper in terms of saving pens, not in terms of shot stopping, because Lloris is very good at shot stopping.
Only Tottenham player I've ever loved.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I love Lloris.
Yeah, he's always been solid.
Yeah.
In terms of shot stopping, but in terms of pens, no. And Mignon in the penalty shootout saves 2 pens and ultimately is very dominant. He didn't have anything to do all game in the second leg, and then he pulls out a masterclass in the penalty shootout. That's literally what you need from a keeper.
Yeah, agreed.
Ultimately, second leg, great. I wouldn't have been too mad if we had gone out, honestly. It's just prep World Cup games to me.
Yeah.
And probably to the players, too. You can sense there's a lack of envy there, but...
I get you.
So you now play Spain on June the 5th.
Yeah.
Is that the same window of the Club World Cup?
It's just before the Club World Cup. I believe it starts the 15th of the Club World Cup. Yeah, the players are going to have a tight schedule.
Yeah,
And I think it's right after the Champions League final. So if Koundé and goes to the final, or Dembele, Barcola go to the final, they're going to be fucking hungover if they win. Let's be honest.
What about Saliba?
Saliba as well. Can I just say Saliba for France has disappointed me.
Bro, he was.
I mean,
better
some
than-
players
he's
like
not-
that. That's
he's-
the same way I feel with Ruben Diaz.
He's never been
Yeah.
the defender he is at Arsenal. Has never been.
Some
In the
are
first
like
leg, it's
that. It's
Konate
weird.
and Saliba, and it's seriously shocking.
That's why, as a defender, you're always the product of your environment.
I
As a
don't
way.
know. In Fall Mob, I see a discrepancy between the 2 ratings here.
What does it say?
So we got a 7.38. Kanata got a 5.5.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Konate had a shocking game, but in terms
I
of
feel
like
you, though. I feel you.
commanding your defense
I
and
think he's won
leading
the argument.
Thank you.
and leading the defense, Saliba is just so much better at Arsenal. I don't see that chief in command for France the same way I
Right.
see it at Arsenal.
I was about to say this is like a really bad international break for PSG because you had Vitinha, João Neves, Dembele, all your French players, all your Portuguese players.
Dembele.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know why I said it like that. But all of them played extra time
Yeah.
for the second time in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
120 minutes.
Yeah.
They played.
But the thing that worried me the most was the injuries. The only player that got injured was Manu Kone, so we're good. Desiré Doué came on, by the way. Just a little caveat. I think it's kind of crazy that Deschamps calls up Desiré Doué for his first international game, and he doesn't play until the 70th minute of the second leg, where you absolutely need goals.
Right.
He's been one of the most entertaining players in the last month. Entertaining players of the last in 2025, and he only comes on for technically 20 minutes because we're not considering extra time. When he comes on and completes the most dribbles in the entire game. 100% pass accuracy, I think, or something stupid, and really tests Livakovic, who hadn't been tested enough up to that point.
Yeah.
He provided a spark that France desperately needed, and he converted his pen at the end. So just adding a cherry on top.
Bro.
He's such a good player, lads. Like, in terms of ceiling for French youngsters, I think he has the highest one.
Fair.
You look at Barcola, Dembele's not a youngster anymore. You look at Barcola, you look at Ryan Cherky. I think Doué has more of a package in his game. He's more well-rounded. He's more decisive in big games. His mentality is different than the others. He wants to win so bad. It's kind of, you know how his idol's Neymar?
Mm.
His mentality is completely different from Neymar's though.
Fair.
Because you see Neymar's like kind of that lazy guy.
Yeah.
He is. I'm not going to compare him to Neymar, but he has Neymar's
You did
traits
last week.
with that added mentality on top of that, and I think that can propel him to levels that we haven't seen in a long
I can't
time.
wait to see. I can't wait to see. Dude.
Yeah.
I've been looking more at some Doué highlights
Yeah?
and footage, and I do see the comps now a little bit.
You see the comparisons?
If he gets to Neymar's level, he's done fantastic for himself. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
Like, I'd be surprised. But just in terms of the traits and the play style.
It just looks like you're looking at a mirror when you look at Neymar on the ball and Doué on the ball.
Fair.
It's a good hook. It's a good hook right there.
Okay, shall we, lads?
We shall
right.
definitely.
Bro, I'm just looking at Club World Cup here. I didn't realize it's actually like the same length of a World Cup.
Yeah, 1 month.
Yeah.
13th of July is the final.
I hope
I
Arsenal.
thought it was going to be like a week or two thing.
No.
I hope
That's
Arsenal
usually
does
how
not
it
get.
Easy.
Well, you expect them
Put
to
in
play
there.
entire group plus round of 16.
Yeah, I
and
guess I didn't
in
like
2
compute
weeks?
it,
Yeah,
but
no,
like
yeah. I think it's gonna be good.
I think it's
gonna be good, and it's gonna allow us to watch football in a time where we don't usually watch football in June unless there's
probably
an
good. Like
international tournament.
I am a little bit worried on the side of like the players' health because
Yeah.
this will be like this is now 3 summers of every 4 that they're gonna be playing until from mid-August to mid-July.
Is the Club World Cup's not every year, is it?
The Club World Cup is
Would it be every year?
every 4 years.
Every 4
now.
years. Okay.
So it will be in the
In
year
between the Euros
and
and-
the World Cup, which is kind of crazy.
It'll be interesting to see how much teams are actually trying, and if managers of the big teams like Ancelotti with Real Madrid, if he's still there,
True.
if they rotate
Yeah.
their players, or if the players really want to play.
True.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if an Mbappe doesn't really care that much about this.
Yeah.
I think I felt that same way until they revealed the prize money. Like I think with the prize
Right.
money, especially like I think the Mexican teams, the American team, like they're gonna be like taking this super.
Yeah,
serious. Like they'll be
undoubtedly.
resting at the
Undoubtedly.
end of their seasons just to prepare for.
Yeah,
the
but they're not
Club
going
What's
to
the
win.
prize
It's
money?
not never going to
25?
happen.
What's the prize
They're
money?
never going to win it.
The prize pool was like $1 billion.
What?
Yes,
Oh shit.
it was like insane.
Yeah.
Like everybody was complaining that like, oh, nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna care. FIFA said, fucking
Billion.
take that.
You need a bill.
Give a shit now.
Yeah.
Yeah, try
Okay,
not
yeah.
to care now.
Yeah.
So, bro, with like even if it's 100 million, like
Yeah,
I could
that's
be
good.
inflating, but even if it's 100 million, like, bro, if like Club Leon wins that,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah.
like that is century changing for them. Let's move on to under
Absolutely.
11. All right.
Oh yes, let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna go one by one, position by position, just like over 8-11. If you watch that video, you know how this goes. And
Yes, I can't wait for this.
how are we feeling for this?
I
guys?
feel good.
I feel
I feel
nervous.
good.
I think the list I have is this is a top tier list.
I think
My-
mine's top tier.
My goal for this list is some of these guys are gonna go like not familiar with his game,
Okay.
but in a couple months he's gonna go to like a big team and you're gonna be like, oh, I remember that guy from when Julian mentioned him on underrated 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the combined minutes of watch time for these players, Julian?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
some higher than others.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's
So
start.
how about you kick us off, Antoine?
Yeah, go.
With, your
With the goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My goalkeeper is Lucas Chevalier
Saw that one coming.
from Lille.
Saw that one coming.
Yeah.
So Homer, bro.
It's very Homer. I was looking at the keepers and nothing was standing out to me. But he's been outstanding this season for Lille. He's been the best player on the pitch for multiple occasions in the biggest games. Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. I remember when they were qualifying for the Champions League, they played Fenerbahce 2 legs, and I thought he was outstanding in both those 2 legs. I really think he's gonna get to a big club soon.
Fair.
It's if like a Barcelona could pick him up. They need a keeper right now.
Yeah.
Ter Stegen's getting old. Chesney's also getting old.
Boy, my boy.
I know, yeah, but he's old as fuck. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
So if there's no better time for him to go to a big club,
Fair.
I think Barcelona should be his top target,
That's a good.
and it's attainable for him
Valuation.
too.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
Mine's a little weird. I have Lunin.
Andrew,
Yeah.
Andrew Lunin.
Because
yep.
I just feel like one, he deserves a move away from Real Madrid to be the starter. He starts for Ukraine, and whenever he's been called upon for Real Madrid, when
last season notably.
when Courtois has been injured, I think he's been really, really
Yeah,
solid.
he's been class.
And I just think that like backup keeper is such a hard position to play, especially at a club like Real Madrid. And there isn't like a quality in his game that is like glaringly terrible. So he's just a very solid keeper, and I think like any Champions League team would love to have him as their first league keeper.
He's definitely the
First choice keeper.
He's definitely one of the best second string keepers in the world. Probably even the best.
Yeah.
Queven Kelleher is up there as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ortega, I liked.
The one thing Ortega too, yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing about Lunin that worries me, I remember in the Euros, he started the first game for Ukraine and they got piped. I think it was 3-0 or
To
something.
Romania, I remember. That.
And he had a shocking game.
Yeah, he didn't look good.
So I don't know in the big games when they really need him or representing his nation at least. I don't know about that. He definitely still needs to develop his game.
yeah,
Because against, I mean, I'm saying the big games, but for Real Madrid in the Champions League knockout stages last year, he was playing out of his mind. I remember against City, he was actually balling.
exactly. Yeah.
So yes, he's quite underrated.
Okay.
But he's also
Ukraine-
rated though.
Yeah.
He's also rated.
Yeah.
So
but he doesn't get the like playing time or recognition for like
Yeah,
everyone
fair.
to be like, oh, he's so
fuck
good.
it, bring him to PSG.
Low key.
Fuck it, dude. Bring him.
If the
What
Donnarumma
happened to
thing
the
happens,
Donnarumma
yeah.
love?
Get him gone.
We're back.
2 weeks ago, Donnarumma was
We're
like his
back to
boy.
the-
No. I told you guys, I stand by my Donnarumma
Fair
statement.
enough. Fair enough.
I don't think he's a good player in big games. I think he's a great pen saver and shot stopper sometimes.
True.
But there's big flaws in his game. Fuck it, bring Andrew Lunin in.
Fair.
I was about to say Ukraine have a bit of a goalkeeper problem, and
Yeah.
a good goalkeeper problem, because they also have Antonelli
Trubin.
the Benfica keeper, who I was debating on putting in here because I think he's a very well-regarded young keeper coming up. But I did not go for him.
We were talking about this. Sorry, I cut you off. We were talking about this. There aren't many young keepers.
There's not.
There's
the
not.
era of young keepers is
The
so
era of
gone.
young keepers is
Yeah.
gone. Like you see these 17-year-old wingers.
I know.
Like popping up from left,
I know.
right, center.
No one wants to
Lamine
keep
Yamal,
anymore.
Dembele, all of them. But
I
no
did
keepers.
my
in there.
research on young keepers. I think you'd
Yeah?
be surprised
Oh my
on
God.
Go ahead.
So you said yours is weird. Mine is very weird.
If we don't know who this is, I'm
No,
so mad.
oh my god,
Bro,
it's gonna be his entire list is gonna be
I
like.
know. Okay, go. Who is it?
No.
Who is it?
This is the most like.
Okay.
I went for Johan Garcia.
And who the fuck is
Bro,
that? Please enlighten me.
Who?
And
He's
who the
a-
fuck is that?
He's a 23-year-old goalkeeper for Espanyol.
I kind of thought he was in La Liga just because his name.
Yeah.
but-
So you were actually talking about.
Oh wait, the one that was linked to Arsenal.
Johan Garcia. Yes.
Oh, why do you say Johan?
Johan Garcia.
No, you said
No.
He said Johan.
Isn't it Juan?
I was debating.
No, it's Joan. I think it's Joan.
Oh, it's
Or
Joan?
maybe Joan.
So
but,
it's Johan. It's Johan.
But no,
It's
Yeah,
Johan.
I think
but you
it's
said it
Johan.
like Johan, so I was like,
It's
okay.
Johan, yeah, I think it's
one that
Johan.
Arsenal's linked with.
Yes.
Okay,
He's also
sure.
linked with Barcelona and Manchester City.
Why is Arsenal linked? Why
We
is
were linked with him
goalkeeper-
last summer
Okay.
as a
Yes.
backup keeper.
Right.
So my original pick was going to be Stefan Ortega. All right. I think he's a very
I s-
solid backup keeper.
I said he was overrated last time.
I don't think so, but you did say that. I remember that.
Yeah.
A very solid. That was the kind of theme I was going for. I saw
Okay.
today he was actually linked to Barcelona. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I was looking what Barcelona fans were saying about him. All of them saying like, no, we don't want him. We want Johan Garcia instead. So I'm like, who is this guy? So I look into him a little bit, and he's having a fantastic season. Espanyol are only a couple places above relegation, and he's basically like
Same
the
enough.
only bright spot on that team. Probably the only reason that they're not in the relegation zone right now.
He's like
Just
Aaron
this-
Ramsdale.
just this past weekend, except he's not 20th.
Except he's also in the relegation zone.
Just this past weekend, he saved 2 penalties
Wow.
in a single game.
Wow.
He's a great claimer, great sweeper, generally a very solid young keeper who I think is going to get a big move either to Manchester City, to Arsenal, or to Barcelona this summer.
Wow.
And trust me when I say this, you're going to be hearing about this guy a lot. So that's why I put him on.
Arsenal, City, or Barca?
Barcelona City or Arsenal.
What the
I meant
fuck?
to say.
Not even like
But
a
as a
mid-table
as
Premier
a,
League team.
as a backup
That's
though,
crazy,
like he's
though.
not
You think
getting
he-
a Raya.
I think if Barcelona need a first string keeper,
That's
they
fair.
need a
For Barca, maybe, yeah.
Barca and City, their keepers they have an injury history. So it's good to have a solid backup.
Also, Ter
second.
Stegen's also getting very old, guys.
Yeah.
Is
He's
he? How
like
old is he now?
33, 34.
Yeah, he's in up there.
That's prime keeper age.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Well, if they're
Keepers
good,
can
it's
go to 40.
Yes, they
Buffon
can.
was balling until like 38, 40.
Okay,
Fair.
but he's still getting
Anyways.
up there now.
So that's why Johan
Johan?
See?
Johan Garcia.
Johan Garcia.
Okay, go your right back then.
Go ahead.
I'm starting right back.
Yeah.
I went for Timmy Weah at right back. Yeah,
Oh
buddy.
my God.
Yeah, but okay. see,
Timothy Way at right back.
and I don't feel great about stacking my team with Americans.
Right.
But I know he's not really a right back by trade, but I think for the job he is doing at the moment with Juventus, he deserves credit for what he's doing.
Malta sacked. We forgot to talk about it, but
Malta got
we kind
sacked.
of knew it was coming.
Would have been a good Naps episode.
Yeah, it would
I
have.
digress.
Igor,
Uh,
Igor Tudor, new manager, ex-Marseille manager. I want them to do fucking dog shit. Anyways. Continue.
Nice.
I was gonna say I don't know if he has a long future at right back. Maybe it's like a Fonzie situation where he turns out to be like a spectacular attacking wing back at club level and is just amazing on the wing for his country. Who knows? I think the United States. I might get to the other guy in this conversation, but I think their forward line looking very good over the next couple of years. Why did you have him?
He's one of the players in this Juve team that shows the most heart every time he's on the pitch.
Mhm.
And I think the fact that it's not his natural position makes it even more impressive because he's completely transformed his game at right back. He's one of the players on the pitch that worked the hardest in that Juve team.
Yeah.
We look at this Juve team that literally just sacked their manager, Thiago Motta. The backline is very shaky at times. And he's a guy that, although his defensive ability isn't great, I think he's improved it tremendously over the last few months. He's improved it. He kind of reminds me of Cuadrado a little bit. Cuadrado started off as a right
yeah,
winger and
I
then
see
got
it.
moved to right back.
I see it. Like in
That's
the
a-
right
That's a good way to put it.
in the
actually.
right, like we're in an age of football where attacking wingbacks are a very, very hot commodity. And if he can go, like I'm just throwing this out there to throw this out there, but like in a United system or someone else's system where like attacking fullbacks, very, very, very important. He could play a hell of a role. Look
Absolutely.
what Alphonso Davies has done. If he stuck with I'm a left winger, nothing else, then he probably wouldn't have made it at Bayern. Let's just be straight up honest. But just because of the role that he played and the player that he grew into, technically out of position, then like he's well regarded as one of the best fullbacks in the world, even by Antoine.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Even by me?
so maybe we're looking
One
at a
of.
similar blueprint
Maybe he's my
to
left back.
Timmy Weah.
No, he's not.
Okay, that'd be a little bit.
But also the thing with Weah is that almost no one's talking about almost no one's talking about
It's
it.
because you had to suck.
It's kind of overshadowed by how bad of a season
Exactly.
Juve team.
But
And I have
there's-
another Juve
there's-
player in here.
There's some sparks in that
Who
Juve team.
Definitely
Exactly.
Thuram.
In that Juve team, I mean.
Yeah.
I think I know who your next Juve player is.
Um,
Is he also perhaps? Anyway.
who is your right back? Go on. Mike.
Mine's another.
Oh,
Mine's
my
a guy
God.
I've never watched play in my life. His name is Gaviro Reed. No, listen. This guy, you want to talk about a Leonard's little boy? This guy should be on your Leonard's little boy list. I
Okay.
promise. So this guy has been linked with Barcelona, Liverpool. He's seen as a potential Trent replacement. I've seen from a couple.
So
of
hold on,
outlets.
where does he play?
He plays for Feyenoord.
Okay.
Plays for Feyenoord. He's their starting right back. He has 6 assists so far in the league. He had 3 assists in his last game alone. So I think he's like the kind of, if they want to keep that,
Yeah.
flying wingback style with Trent, like Trent had if he does leave, this guy could be. He's 18 years old. He's Dutch. I'm going to be honest here. I don't know much about him. But during my research, I've seen that this guy is well regarded by the Feyenoord fans. Like I said, he's linked to the big teams, and he's like very attackingly prowess. He has a great right foot on him. He knows when to make the runs. I don't know. I just think it could be a fullback, one to watch. That's kind of all
Fair
I have
enough.
for you. But
Fair enough.
he looks like an actually really good talent.
Reed, his name is? R-E-I-D?
Yeah, like you reading a book.
R-E-A-D.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gaviro Reed. He looks good.
Okay.
Could be on the watch list.
I'll take a look for sure.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I want to start center back.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Moise Bombito.
That's a good pick. I was debating that one.
Genuinely, what do you know about Moise Bombito?
What do I know about Moise Bombito? The league I probably watch the most. What do
Yeah.
I know about him?
For Nice.
He's fucking playing like he's great.
Really good, right?
He's great.
And do you know what I think is he's getting even hindered by right now is the fact he's playing in a 3-back. I think he shines most in a 4.
Okay.
Because right now he's playing on the right of the 3, I think, for Nice.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure. But I think his like role as the like Varane type, quick, agile, athletic, super pacey, right-sided center back that can just do everything. He can play with his feet. He can win headers. He can win last-ditch challenges. He's
Yeah.
so talented. There's such a good player in there. He's not super young or anything. He's like 25 or 24 or whatever. But I think there's such a good player in there. If he just keeps going with Nice, they're in 4th right now. So if
Yep.
he can continue that, we could see him in Champions League football as well.
He's
It'd be
relatively
so
young
great.
too.
Very young.
Yeah, 24.
Very young.
Yeah, 24.
I remember Jesse Marsh talking about him, and it was something along the lines of he was almost mad at like the football world for
Yeah.
not discovering a talent like this earlier.
Absolutely. and he's like aesthetically pleasing to watch. Like, you know, those aesthetically pleasing center backs. That's what he reminds me of, because he's that recovery pace, that ability to put in a challenge. Love the guy. Homer pick, but
This isn't even that much homer pick. This isn't even that much Canadian bias. Like, genuinely, I see a player in there.
yeah,
Is he on yours?
He's not on mine.
Okay.
that's the only reason why I wanted to go first, just in case you had him.
Yeah.
But
Not valid.
I
knew you were gonna like carry that one.
Yeah,
That's
I
valid.
really wanted him, and I've ever since he's got called up in the Copa America, he's been such a joy to watch.
Okay.
I think if he continues to improve his game in Liga slowly under a good manager, he can probably get a top club soon.
I think so.
Not
I
soon,
hope
maybe
so.
2-3 years.
Yeah,
How
he's
old
already
is
in a
he?
good spot.
Yeah,
How
he's
old
already
is
is.
he?
He is in a good spot.
24?
At
Yeah.
this rate, he's contending for Champions League next season.
Right?
To play that Champions League
Yeah,
next season.
I would love it for him. I love it for him.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I love that pick.
Thank you.
I love that pick. Am I going next for center back?
Go ahead.
My first center back is Ilya Zabarnyi.
Oh my goodness,
Okay,
lad.
bet.
Am I redeeming myself?
Oh my
Am I redeeming myself?
He was what I was looking for, so I'll dap you up.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
He was on my-
Are we
yeah,
going
yeah.
to? Are we going player for player?
God,
here?
we're on the same wavelength.
What the fuck is
here.
going on?
I think he is the unsung hero of
Yes,
that Bournemouth defense.
absolutely.
I've been seeing so much hype around Dean Hoyson. and
Yes!
it is.
Bro, this
and
is
it
literally what I have written
absolute-
down.
And it is absolutely warranted. But Ilya Zabarnyi, starting last season, not even starting this season, starting last season, he's been absolutely balling for Bournemouth. He's 22 years old, still super young. I think he's got a big move coming soon. And I knew when Dean Hoyson, with all that hype coming from Juventus, went to Bournemouth, I was like, that defense is fucking scary.
Yeah, because Kirk has on the left too.
I know. And he's been getting so much love on the left. I'm seeing more love for Lewis Cook on the
I
right
know.
more than Ilya Zabarnyi. But I'm telling you, this guy is primed for a big move very soon. I'm excited to see it. That was why I was so fucking big on Ukraine in the
Yes.
Euros.
True.
Ilya Zabarnyi,
What a player.
shout out.
What a player.
Shout out.
Dean Hoyson might have been one of the guys on my list, low key.
He's on your list?
Yeah,
And that's fair.
He was. I don't want to go with him because you guys is Zabarnyi, so I have another player.
Okay.
But you haven't said. I guess you had the
It's
same one.
Zabarnyi, but it's just for the fact that everyone's talking about Dean Hoyson, which
Yeah.
is absolutely warranted, like you said.
Yeah.
He's
very
been
good.
fucking class
Yeah,
this season. Let's
very
be
good.
honest. But Ilya Zabarnyi's kind of that, like you said, unsung hero for that Bournemouth team. They're so defensively sound,
Yep.
and I think a big part of that is thanks to Ilya Zabarnyi.
So I had Dean as one of them, but I have a different one.
Okay.
My other one is Nico Schlotterbeck, guys.
Okay.
Oh,
From Dortmund.
And look, I know obviously people, you know the name, and he's a good center back, but I don't
No.
think people realize how like actually talented this guy is.
Fair.
He might have the best tackling ability in any defender I've seen.
Okay.
And again, I'm not watching Dortmund that much, but from the times I've watched in the Champions League, he's clearly gotten them to a Champions League final just a year ago. His tackling ability is like crazy. His last ditch tackles, like just look up his highlights. They're ridiculous. He just won like half of a season so far this year. It's like something that isn't always looked at as a mainstay of like how many times you can like save your team from getting scored on. But
Yeah.
the amount of tackles that this guy puts in at the right time with the right aggression, I don't know. It's like such a like another aesthetically pleasing defender. And it's just a joy to watch. And I don't think I've appreciated that Dortmund team enough. And I think we've talked about them not being able to play well and still getting results. I think he's a huge
In the
part of
Champions
that.
League.
In the Champions
In the
League,
Champions
yes. But I think he's a huge part of that. And he has like really good pace and
I was gonna say the thing is about him is that he's super quick.
yeah.
He is super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that helps his recovery speed to get the
Yeah.
last ditch tackles in. But genuinely, like I think he might have one of the best tackling abilities in the world.
Valid as hell. Yeah, we do tend to underrate a lot of center backs outside of the Prem,
Mhm.
if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I was genuinely debating putting Bastoni on this list.
Lie.
I know he's so because I know he's so rated, but I was gonna do it by the standards of like we don't talk about him enough.
Yeah.
You know,
Fair.
we don't, except that Naps episode. But generally, we don't talk about him enough.
We don't. And he's probably one of the best ball playing center backs in the world.
Maybe the
Mm.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
just by that same notion, Solarbeck is a very valid pick, Blake. Good
Thank
job.
you.
All right. Center back number 2.
Yep.
Am
Is
I
it
up
you?
next?
Go ahead.
My
Wait,
s-
or do you want Antoine to go just in case you have the same player again?
I don't think yeah. Go. I'll go.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
You want to go? You want to go?
No, you go.
I have the one and only William Pacho, aka
Oh, nice.
The
I
Rock,
don't have him,
aka Prime Thiago Silva,
but nice. Legend of the Benfica career mode.
aka
No,
Dare- dare-
homerism here.
dare
you don't
I
think?
say it, top 5 center back in the world this season.
Huh?
This season.
Whoa.
This season, lads. Look, I'm just saying.
No,
many-
no, We're
no.
not doing this because if
Okay,
I
no.
said this
Whoa,
fucking
whoa.
blasphemous take, you
Listen.
guys would be on my head. This is what I'm
Okay,
saying.
top
Blake
10,
agenda.
top 10.
Bro,
Top 10. Look, I'm just saying, a lot of people right now are discovering this PSG team as a true Champions League contender, and they mostly talk about the wingers, the forwards, the midfielders, the wing backs, but nobody is talking about
Yes.
the two defenders and Willian Pacho. This guy is a fucking rock.
He was very good.
He is
against Liverpool.
so solid,
I'll give you that.
and he has consistently been solid this entire season. I can't think of one mistake he's made this season. He
know,
just has that aura to him
Yeah.
where when a defender approaches him, he can't really do anything.
You know, this is the problem, Blake, because when you say something outlandish, we're watching the same football as you. Very Prem heavy, very Arsenal heavy. We're watching the same thing as you. When he brings up a PSG prospect, I know it's outrageous, but I can't tell him why it's outrageous because I haven't watched.
See, that goes into my favor.
I can't say it's wrong, but top 5 is a little crazy.
And okay,
Top 10.
top 5 is crazy.
Top 10.
You best believe I'm including the top 5 in the hook though.
Oh yeah.
So has
Also,
Lewis
another-
Kelly been a top 5 left back in the world this season? Yes.
No, I never said. No. What the fuck? Anyways, no.
Probably.
No.
Top 10, yeah.
Because
Top 15.
he's watching the same football as you, so it's.
But he had anyway. Sorry.
Also, PSG are undefeated in Ligue 1. A big part of that is Pacho.
And the competition.
A big part of that is Pacho. Lad, there's big clubs in Ligue 1. There's great attacking teams in
There are
Ligue 1.
good teams in Ligue 1.
There are
There's
good teams.
great attacking
Brest
teams
is
in Ligue
doing
1.
well. Lyon is doing well.
Monaco's doing well.
Monaco's
Lille is doing
Lille's
well.
doing well.
Lad,
So
like
you can't even-
there's good attackers in Ligue 1 that would
What stats are you
would do
looking
a good
up
job
to-
against
What
defenders.
stats are
in
you
the
looking
tournament.
up
20
to
points
do
clear in the
this?
league right now.
Yeah, we are. So what?
Because they're amazing.
Because we're so good.
Why are you glazing them so
I'm not
hard
glazing.
right now?
I'm telling him the honest truth. Have you watched PSG this year?
Oh, well, yeah, but not that much. 20 points clear, and you're gonna.
That's
I don't have to watch
that's
PSG
exactly
that much
why
to
he's
know that they've
underrated.
been
That's
spectacular
exactly
this
why
year.
he's underrated because people don't watch PSG that much. And when they do watch PSG, it's a great attacking display against a team that isn't much better than them, so you don't really see the defensive side of things.
Okay.
When PSG are conceding chances, Pacho is
Okay.
top.
You can agree with
He's been
the-
better than Marquinhos this season. That's no doubt.
You can
Fair.
agree with the take. You can agree with the selection without agreeing with the statement. Sure. Okay. My second one, I was definitely not going to put William Pacho in there. I couldn't. But I went for Gonzalo Ignacio.
Okay.
Sporting guy.
Double homer.
Double homer pick
guys.
from from me too. I can't lie.
Sporting guy. I was going to say. I could have easily put Antonio Silva in this team.
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
Fair.
But this is from what? What?
How many games have you watched Sporting play this year?
More than you would expect because of Ruben Amorim.
More than you
Oh
believe.
yeah, keep valid. Dumb me up, valid.
More than you believe.
More than you
More
believe.
than you believe.
But my next point was going to be about watching Portugal. Whenever I watch Portugal play, and this is including Ruben Diaz on the
starts.
pitch, and Pepe, and all those guys,
Yep.
Gonzalo Ignacio is the defender that impresses me the most. Genuinely. Whenever, like, Antonio Silva in the past couple of years has kind of been hailed as, like, the next great center back to come out of Benfica because we had a couple of them in the past couple
Come out
of
of
years.
Portugal in general.
Portugal in general,
Yeah.
right? Gonzalo Ignacio has been around for years, didn't really get that same hype, but he's grown into I can admit this as a Benfica fan, he's grown into a better center back than Antonio Silva, and I see that when they play in a back four for Portugal. I see that when I know he plays in a back three for what?
No, you didn't. You didn't get my eye.
I didn't see it.
It's fine.
What was it
You
about?
can see as a Benfica fan.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I can admit that as a Benfica fan that Gonzalo Ignacio is well clear of Antonio Silva because I watch Antonio Silva either for Benfica or for Portugal, I don't even have a fraction of the same confidence I have when I'm watching Gonzalo.
So what's
Ignacio.
like his top
Have to
trait?
be
Is he good
honest.
on the ball? Is he
Very,
like a
very
last ditch defender? What is it?
Great positioning, great physicality when he does have to put in a challenge, and he's fantastic on the ball. That comes from playing for Sporting. You have to be good on the ball. So all of those traits together, that's exactly what you want out of a modern day center back, and he has all of it.
Wow.
He's one of those center backs who you can definitely rely on in tackle, but like you know how like I think it was Yap Stan that said like if you have to make a tackle, you've already made a mistake.
Mhm.
So like you almost never see Gonzalo Inacio kind of putting in that last ditch kind of, but
I like that,
Yeah. You tell me.
but it's because his positioning and kind of like the intangibles, the mentality, the way he reads the game is almost so clear, and you almost like don't even see that. I feel like I'm kind of like wrapped in a warm blanket watching Gonzalo Inacio for Portugal.
Wow.
Fair
That's
enough.
cute.
There you go. How's that?
Good. Pretty
Is that
good. Are we
for
doing
some
left backs?
analysis? All right,
Left back.
let's go left
Who's
back.
starting?
Give me Antoine's left back.
For me, I went over to your city. And I hit up. I dialed the phone. I hit up Mr. Alvaro Carreras, and he picked up. And I was like, "Hey, brother, you've made my list,
Bro.
dude. I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch Benfica week in, week out,
Yeah.
and I've watched minimal minutes of Benfica only when I can, which is in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But every single time I watch Benfica, there's one player that stands out particularly, and it's Carreras. He is so fundamentally sound to me. And he's so good on the ball. His link-up play is great. Everything that you want from a left back, I feel like he has. I had to put him in here because almost nobody's talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is talking about Carreras. And
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I could see him with like a move to a like
Oh, he needs it.
Atleti.
Send him to Real.
I feel like we're gonna say that about a lot of these players.
Send him to Real Madrid.
That these players we can see them getting a move, and they
I
probably will
I
have.
can
That was my
seriously-
goal with my list. That was my goal.
Why,
But that shouldn't be the goal though.
no, but seriously,
Not all
why
of them.
not? Why
Okay.
not send him to Real Madrid? He's Spanish.
True.
He's playing a position that Real Madrid need. Let's be honest. Ferland Mendy is good, but not outstanding by all means.
He might be underrated. Too.
He came through, I believe, at the Atleti Academy, I believe. Then
Okay.
obviously
That
went to
sounds right.
United, and then had a little hiccup there in his career. But he's since recovered at Benfica.
Like many players have played for Atleti and Real Madrid.
Of course.
It's not
Look
a
at
big
Courtois.
deal.
Yeah.
Look at Courtois.
Courtois, Llorente, you
Yeah.
can name them.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, very valid pick.
Thank you.
I like that pick.
Yeah, I knew you
I'm
was
like a
gonna
proud
that
dad
pick. Fuck.
listening to that.
Unbelievable.
Tell me about yours, Blake.
I had a couple different people. I literally had so many
Left
I-
back was hard.
Left back was hard. I had Anthony Robinson. I had Kadzuolu. I had
Kadioglu?
The
Kadioglu.
Turkish,
Yeah.
yes.
I kind of just decided on Lino, kind of a homer pick as well. I
Okay.
know he's kind of a left winger. I just think, defensively he might not be the strongest or the best, but that's why he doesn't always play left back and he plays left wing further up the field because I think his attacking ability is like something that lacks in Atletico Madrid. Like they're not really a winger based team, so his outlet on the left side is pretty attractive to watch in a team that can be a little stagnant from time to time.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I just think he's a cool player.
Fair.
And I
If
didn't
you
think
if you had
talked
put him
up.
left wing, then I would have agreed with you. I
Fair.
don't think he's a left back.
He does play there sometimes.
He does play there, but
Yeah.
there's better options for Atleti at left back.
You think Reynaldo's better?
Reynaldo, Javi Galan.
Fair.
That's who they prioritize
But
at left
they
back.
don't provide what he provides.
But he provides it at left wing.
Right. But I don't know. I was struggling for left back.
Fair
so I
enough.
just wanted someone,
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
wanted to play
He doesn't really need to resort to his defensive ability that much because
if he's a winger.
he's not in that zone.
Exactly.
You know?
But anyway.
Yeah.
I could have put Calafiori.
I mean, to be fair, you have to resort to your defensive ability when you play for Atletico anyway. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair.
You have to
That's
have it.
why it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that's why he kind of stands out when you watch because he is very
Okay.
Could have put Calafiori. I didn't.
Dude, you would not put Calafiori.
I know who's
That'd be a
Arsenal players, by the way.
disgraceful pick.
I've been known who's Arsenal players.
Oh, so no Miles Lewis
No, it's
Kelly in
not,
this team
yeah.
for you.
I know who it is, and you're not gonna pull that shit.
Okay.
It's gonna be so bad, guys.
Okay.
You know who it is?
No, just keep
It
Okay,
better
fine.
not
We'll
be.
leave it. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. We'll leave
Better not be the 17-year-old that's balling out for them right now.
No, I don't think it is.
Okay.
I think I know exactly who it is.
Okay, go. Who's your left back?
My left back is Andrea Cabiasso.
Cambiaso?
Yes.
That's a fair
Yes.
shout.
My casual.
This is another.
Look, he's rated though. He's rated though.
He is a little bit rated.
He is
He's
rated,
a little
though.
bit
Who is this guy?
Juventus left back.
left back.
Oh yeah. That makes
25-year-old attacking left back, can play on the right too. He can play like
But
four
see,
different
He's a
positions.
real Swiss Army
See,
knife.
Exactly. This is, we were talking to Naps about this. I just hear it from Juve fans themselves. This guy is one of the bright spots in a very, very dark team. I remember a quote, I think like that Luca guy, that big Juventus fan. He says, and
Oh,
I
yeah?
quote, if Pep gets his hands on this guy, it's over.
Nah.
And I see it. This guy, he's linked with City. He's linked with Real Madrid. And it's no coincidence. Like, I think 25 years old, I was actually expecting him to be a little bit younger, but when I actually watch him play, I see those traits. very, very, very solid left back, and I think deserves a place in this team.
Absolutely. And the thing is with him is that he's very versatile, and he can even put in a shift in the midfield, which is impressive. You don't see many left backs doing that. I guess now with Pep Guardiola implementing his kind of
See every left back doing it.
no, but not to the extent that Cambiasso can do it.
Valid.
Two Juve players and they suck. Valid.
I know. It's almost like when a team is so bad,
There's players that
the
stand out.
player-
Yeah.
Like you have that
the solid
Espanyol.
players on that team
he has the Espanyol
become
keeper, yeah.
underrated.
Yeah, that's
So yeah,
valid.
Shout out Juan.
Okay.
Yohan.
Midfielder.
Shout out Yohan.
Midfielders. Go ahead, Blake.
This is the guy who I think is one of the most underappreciated midfielders of our generation, and it's Hakan Çalhanoğlu.
I like that pick.
Ooh,
You know,
nice.
Because he had that whole debacle. Remember when he went from AC to Inter?
Inter, yeah.
That was like a huge thing, and I feel like people really got turned off by
And he
this
got
player.
banned, but yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
But the moments in his career, like that goal he scored for, was it Leverkusen? No, in the Bundesliga. The
halfway line.
free kick.
goal. Oh my
Leverkusen?
God.
No, it
Yes,
wasn't
It was
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen. That's actually my favorite goal of all time. It might be. Like, I don't think we've seen someone with that ability to manipulate the ball in that way with that much power. Because it's not like we've seen people who can hit ball like Xavi and these players who can pass the ball really, but the amount of power he gets behind his strikes is insane. And I think after he moved from on the wing and he moved to a more central position, that's when he really shined. And he's like a staple in the Inter midfield. They're leading the league right now, like they're top of the league. Again, not the most defensively minded player, but his ability to control the play. He has like one of the most assists in the league right now, I'm pretty sure. And I just think his ability to strike a ball when it's passing or shooting is like so underrated. And as a player, I think he's just greatly underappreciated overall.
He is such a good dead ball specialist.
Yeah.
He is so good at just
Genuinely.
free kicks in general.
One of the best we've seen.
Whipping across in the box, or even top bins from 20 yards out.
It's like his passes have venom on it. That's the only way I can explain it. Like, you know when people like just hit a ball and it's like super swazzy and it just has that directness? He has that. It has venom to his passes.
And you said he doesn't really have the most defensive capabilities, but he's actually played more of like a deeper role as he's gotten older, especially for Inter. And he actually does do a role there. He has experience playing in DM. So very, very respectable pick.
Yeah.
Very respectable pick. I
He's
feel like
rated.
he is rated.
He is rated. In Italy, he definitely is rated.
Very
Probably.
rated.
I think Serie A fans definitely regard this guy as one of the best players in Serie A. Let's be honest.
For sure.
Fair.
For sure. But still.
I don't know.
Valid.
We've definitely never talked about him. So
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good that you mentioned
that is true. That is true. Shall I go next?
Go ahead.
yeah.
My midfield for this pick, I was a little bit lost on where to go. I went for Dani Ceballos, and
I like that. You know,
he's been rated this season. I feel like he's gotten the respect like that
he deserves. Yeah,
deserves. I feel like a lot of people, especially like our kind of knowledge base and teams that we watch, we still picture that 80 rated goal card. The Arsenal, the mediocre midfielder for Arsenal that had some bad moments. No, respectfully.
Well, no, I was gonna say he had moments at Arsenal. It was just
you could tell there was a player there at Arsenal.
but it was like kind of like he had no one around him, so it was hard for him to like really dictate play.
The thing with players like Dani Ceballos, he's really good at retaining the ball.
Yeah.
But if you're good at that, if that's one of your best traits, you need players also around you that can take advantage of that trait of yours. And he didn't really have that at Arsenal, but I think at Madrid, he's come on so many times when they need to like grab a hold of the game, and he comes on and he does that absolutely. He's been a solid piece to this amazing Real Madrid team. And I think his ball retention, it's a quality that I think any team can use.
Absolutely.
You know? I think there are very few players that you can place in almost any system or team in the world. But I think this version of Dani Ceballos, I know he's getting up there in age, but still can actually do that.
Yep.
You know? And another honorable mention I had that I thought of afterwards was Isco. He's getting up there in age as well, but for Real Betis this season, he's been literally one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, he has. He's
His
been
career a little underrated too.
Yeah.
His career is
exactly.
totally underrated.
Exactly.
Absolutely underrated.
He started over Bale in the Champions League final where
Final.
Bale scored that
Yeah.
brace, including the bicycle kick.
Yeah.
I think people forget all the time. But anywho, Isco's
I
been
like that
amazing
pick a
for
lot.
Real Betis. Second best Real Betis player this season.
Good
I'm
one.
kidding. Definitely first by far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to both of them. And yeah.
I was torn between two midfielders here, and they're you're gonna call me Homer. They're both French. They don't both play in the French league though. They both play in the Serie A. One of them was Kefren Turam, who I didn't include. The other one is Manu Kone, who I did include. And it's simply because he's been probably Roma's best player this season.
You were watching the France game. You were like,
Honestly, he didn't have a good game against France or against Croatia. So I knew I was gonna put him in my list. I was scared that he was gonna ball out for France, and then
you get
and then
called
I
out.
get I knew I was gonna include him in my list though. For Roma this season, it's been 3 different managers. You had Mourinho at the start, then you had De Rossi, who also got sacked, and now you're on Claudio Ranieri.
Jeez.
But there's one player that's been consistently in the system throughout, and it's Manu Kone. He's so press resistant. You were talking about ball retention. That's a guy who can retain a ball.
Yep.
And the way he drives the ball up forward and ultimately tries to find that key pass into the final third to a winger or to a striker,
It's the bird flying.
gets the bird flying for sure. Probably one of the best in Serie A, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And Roma fans love him as well, which is good for him.
And talk to me about Thuram.
Thuram as well. I think Thuram, he gets Pogba comparisons from Juve fans.
A lot of Juve love.
A lot of Juve love in this.
That's what I'm saying.
But literally,
episode.
outside of those players and maybe Colomwani, there's like nothing.
But Pogba. Kone.
All right.
To be fair, Kone, I also see a little bit of Pogba in Kone.
Wow.
I do. But
You've been
Thuram,
throwing around the comparisons these last couple of weeks. I don't know.
I just see a little bit of Pogba. In
I
Kone.
understand
A
it. If
little
you're like
bit
a
of
tall
Pogba.
French midfielder coming up in the past couple of years, you are emulating your
playing
game
in Serie
after
A.
Pogba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
But Thuram, I also like. He has very similar qualities to Kone. That's why I didn't want to put both of them in, because they're very similar type of profile, similar type of player.
Yeah.
But again, for Juve, probably their best midfielder apart from maybe McKennie. I think you might have him in there. Actually, no. You said 2 Juve players.
I don't have any more Juve players in this team.
Okay.
Thank
When you
God.
said
I've
when
already
you
gone
said
through
when you
both
said
of
2 Juve players when you were on your right back, I thought McKennie was going to be your
Yeah.
center. McKennie's been great, but so same profile as Manu Kone and Kefren Thuram is. So that's why I didn't want to include both of them. But very, very underrated this season. Very underrated.
Wow, I'm surprised I didn't have one of the same midfielders as me. We'll get on to that.
We'll get onto that.
Have you mentioned yours?
I did. I can do another one if you want.
Go on.
He's a winger, but also midfielder.
Okay.
You guys are probably gonna say he's underrated, but I have Justin Kluivert.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys don't love that pick?
It's
Because
he's an attacker, isn't he? He's a midfielder on FPL.
No, but he's more of like an attacking midfielder than he is a
fair.
or
Yeah.
winger. But I just think this player, what he can do that's so special is not just manipulate the ball, but manipulate the defender that he's facing, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Good shot on him as well.
Good shot. Obviously, he has 15, 20 goal contributions this season. He's been killing it for Bournemouth. But
Yep.
I think his ability to manipulate the defender, like with his body feints, it's not just about him doing step overs or doing, rainbow flicks. It's about him using his body in subtle ways to get the advantage on the defender. And that's something that not every player can do. Saka does this really well.
Yeah.
Salah does it really well. And I think he has that sort of trait as well. And it's very, very hard to master. And I think he's getting to that point. So that's why I have him there.
Valid. Yeah, he is more like an attacking midfielder. So that's
But
a valid
because I
choice.
didn't know where to put him,
He's
right?
a utility man. You can put him anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna put him on left wing because I was struggling in that position.
Fair.
But I did not.
Sorry, Mourinho was last season at Roma. I just want to clarify because I said it was this season. They did have 3 managers. One of them was an interim called Juric. But again, the same
I know your
the same
point
logic
stands. Your point
the same
stands.
logic
Yeah.
applies where Kone fits in all 3 of those
Fair.
systems. Anyways, sorry.
Okay.
Actually, can I just get my last midfielder out of the way? Because
go
it's
on.
not.
Go on.
I just want to shout out the Napoli midfield. Because
Yeah.
I don't really know who to pick. I don't know if it's Zambo Anguissa or Labodka or it's McTominay. I just wanted to shout out that.
Because
Because,
Tommy's overrated. We know this.
but I didn't know who to pick.
Is that your third?
That's my third.
Your third is the Napoli.
Well,
midfield?
I put Labodka because I think he's like the most underappreciated. Zambo Anguissa is like
Homer pick. Homer pick.
Oh,
Count as a
Labodka?
Homer pick.
Why? Oh, because I like Napoli.
No, because Poland.
he's
He's
not Polish.
Labodka's not Polish.
No, he's like Serbian.
Slovenian.
Or Slovenian.
Or Slovakian. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could have sworn he was Polish.
No, he's
No.
Slovakian.
Who am I? Oh, am I confusing him with Zielinski?
Yeah.
Oh.
But anyway, Zambo Anguissa has been great this season too. But that's my last.
bad,
I just
my
wanted to get
bad,
that out of the way.
Not bad. Not valid.
yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll say my last 2 now.
Sure.
My first one is rated, but I'm surprised Antoine didn't have him on his list.
How do you know I don't have him on this?
You said your midfielders.
No, he said
I
Oh,
said
yeah.
one midfielder.
You've said 2 midfielders.
Kefren's not on my list.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I was thinking. I
Okay.
didn't put him on my list
Oh,
because
okay.
he's a similar
so you
profile
might
to
have
Kone.
him, but he is rated. To be fair, I have Vitinho.
Lad.
Lad. Oh my
Lad.
god, that's a bad.
Brother, what the fuck?
He's
is
so
that?
rated.
Come on.
If everyone's saying he's an 85, I think he's an 90.
my
No,
God.
Julian.
That was the funniest comparison you made. that one time.
Julian.
Yeah,
I don't think that's bad at all.
Come on, brother.
I don't love that.
I
It's
still
been
don't think
two
he gets.
seasons now that he's been probably one of the best
Agreed,
midfielders in the world.
But I don't see enough love for
You
him.
have Henri literally talking about. Did you see that clip of
Yes.
Henri talking about how he's like
talking about how
the
he's
best
one of the
midfielder in the world?
Yes.
But I don't see. I genuinely, I do
You don't
not
see anyone talking
him.
about it. Just probably one of the best player in the Premier League
And
ever.
especially when I talk about like he talks about it all the time too, and he
I
also
do.
is just class.
I know, but I'm talking about like the general football world. I just don't see enough discourse to Vitinha. Maybe like they're calling him a really good player, but I think he's even better than that. Genuinely, like approaching the best midfielder in the world. Genuinely,
How is he underrated?
genuinely, like I see so much love to João Neves. That's why I say this.
Okay, yes.
So much love to João Neves,
Yes.
and that's totally like,
I see more love to Vitinha to be
and
honest.
that's totally
yeah.
valid. No, I see more to João Neves. Maybe this is just my timeline it's fucked up, but I see way more love to João Neves. But I think they're not talked about enough as like a historic duo. We talk about comparisons to João Neves all the time. He very similar to Marco Verratti. If João Neves is Marco Verratti, Vitinha is Iniesta. Swear to God.
I think
In the way, no, in the
so
in
many
the way,
comparisons today. Fucking hell.
bro, the way he creates chances, the way he dribbles the ball and retains possession, he's a fucking set piece specialist.
What do you-
And if you don't believe me saying that he's Iniesta, Arne Slot said it himself. I have the quote here ready for you. He said after, and I quote,
so. This just feeds into our argument.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
this actually.
literally just-
Wait, you're
Just the manager of the
literally
first
does.
team in the Premier League is praising Vitinha. Cool.
after Xavi and Iniesta, Luis Enrique now has Vitinha and João Neves.
How are you comparing?
Yeah, you're actually digging yourself a bigger hole. That was actually the worst thing you could have said.
But I don't see any love from general football
There
fans.
literally has.
I
You
don't.
look back. Okay, last year, round of 16, it was Real Sociedad. He's been the best. He was the best player in those two legs. Then it was Barcelona. He was the best player in those two legs.
Yes,
Then it was
scored that
Dortmund.
amazing goal. I
And then
agree
it was
with you.
Dortmund. He was the best
I
player in
agree
those
with
two
you.
legs for PSG.
I rate him
Where's the?
so highly. I rate him so highly.
Everybody knows
And
Vitinha is-
every solid mind in the football world thinks of Vitinha so highly.
So what the
and
fuck?
projects. No, I agree with you.
Dude, you're.
But
digging
the
yourself a
general
hole
football
here.
fan is not putting Vitinha high
I
enough
think-
on their list.
I think they
and
are.
I'm here to preach
They
that they should be
absolutely are.
putting more respect on Vitinha. Wherever you think Vitinha is rated right now, fucking bump him up. Genuinely, I think he is that. He should be that highly regarded.
Yes,
and
he
I don't
should
think,
be. He
but I
should be
don't
that
think
highly
he
regarded,
is.
and he is that highly regarded.
I don't think he is.
People regard him as a top 5 midfielder in the world, maybe even top 3.
Well,
Who? Pedri,
Valverde.
Valverde's up there.
yeah.
Fair enough. top 5.
But top five,
five.
top five genuine
Top five.
conversation this season. Genuine conversation.
Top five.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He would be Arsenal's best player.
He would.
No.
He would.
Y'all are giving me ammo. Y'all are giving me ammo.
No, stop.
Y'all are giving me ammo. You don't want me to use it, but I'll
No.
fucking use it. I'll fucking use it.
That was good.
Give me your next one.
And
Or
my
should I
next
do
one.
one? Should I do mine? I only said
Go
one.
ahead.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
He's very rated, this guy, and I guess me saying Vitinha's rated. You guys know who this is. It's Tijani Reinders. But I
Okay.
think he's
No, I'll give
rated.
it to
He's
you.
rated on a different scale than Vitinha is.
Yeah, yeah,
Vitinha
yeah, yeah.
is known worldwide as
Yeah.
a class player.
Yeah.
Tijani Reinders, when you think of one of the best midfielders in the world,
What a name,
this
by the
guy, this guy's name should pop up in your head. Seriously,
Yeah. And it doesn't.
And it doesn't.
Because he's not like aesthetically, oh my God, I'm going to score a million goals and dribble past a million players.
But that's the thing. Every single time that Milan are in trouble, if there's one guy that takes them out of the slumps, it's this guy.
Yeah,
It's
that's true.
Tijani Reinders. His quality on the ball and off the ball, his defensive ability is so class.
Mhm.
He's widely regarded as a great center mid, a great midfielder in Serie A. But apart from that, I don't think many people see him as a top midfielder in the world, and I think they should because
Sure.
he's a class player, and I love watching this player too. He's a
I like
great
that
player.
pick. I like
Thank you.
That's very.
Better than Vitinha?
Yeah.
Thank you.
My last one, I had to have a Benfica player in here somewhere. I have Orkan Kokcu,
Okay.
and I think this one is
So
very.
how
very
many
valid.
So
Port-
many Portuguese.
how many-
league
yeah, how many
players.
Portuguese league
Jesus
players are we on now?
Christ, bro.
Is it only
Um,
it's 2?
The whole
It's
no, it's 3.
It's
Two?
two.
Plus a keeper we don't know.
It's
Yeah.
two.
All right, to be fair, I knew him. But
Yeah, it's
You knew?
two. The
Well,
whole
just 'cause he's
11,
left,
it's
right.
two. The whole 11, it's two.
Okay.
Vitinha, former Portuguese.
This guy,
league
he's
player,
like the
but,
only player I actually know in Benfica, though. Is like good.
Orkan Kokcu, yeah. Like literally, I was looking up his stats just to get like a good resume. I thought like it'd be decent. It's fucking amazing. Like, y'all ever play 2K and like when you're getting to the end of a my career, like your player can fucking do everything, whatever. Like you got the perfect pro clubs player. He's got an amazing shot on him. He can create chances. He's got an amazing pass. He can fucking dribble. He can put in a tackle. Utility man at everything. That is literally all can coach you. One of the best shots I have ever seen on a midfielder. Not even kidding. He's in the
Except Hakan.
in the
Both are good.
100th percentile in both chances created and expected assists.
See, he likes that.
He
He
likes
likes
the
that
percentile,
stat
yeah.
now. It's
He
fun.
likes-
A 100 percentile, so he's the best.
The best,
on
yeah.
all that. I don't know if that's
In the league, though.
I don't know if that's in
Yeah,
the
how are we
Portuguese
it's in
gonna
league.
the
how are we gonna
Portuguese
weigh
league.
that
When
in
I go
comparison?
No,
when
it's
I
in the
go
Portuguese league.
on FootMob and I look at like what the player trade is like based off of, it doesn't say that it's
in the league.
in the league. It says that it's just all players together. But fair enough, he's mostly playing against Portuguese, league level players. But to that argument, I would say that look at all the midfielders that have been coming out of the Portuguese league. Like the style of football played in that league is very possession heavy, and to have it to be the best player in both expected assists and chances created in the Portuguese league is very, 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 very tough. And on a world stage, he's spectacular at it.
How do you compare? How do you weigh the difference in level between the Premier League and the top leagues in the world and the Portuguese leagues?
I think
It's
like
like-
in a comparison like this, it's easier to compare because of the play style of the league. Like if someone had a good passing percentage in, let's say, like La Liga, where I would say they press a little bit more compared to like Serie A,
Mhm.
where you can just, it's a little bit slower. Teams have higher possession. It's easier to have like a high pass completion percentage. That's the kind of
Fair.
comparison we're going at. Like,
Okay.
Portugal is very similar to Spain, where possession is very, very quick, but a very important part of the game. So to have something like that, to be that good in that league, I think is admirable.
Okay.
On top of that, again, one of the best shots on a midfielder in the world, a genuine all-rounder, and he's due for a big move. Orkan Koçu, ladies and gentlemen. Remember the name.
Okay.
I'm sure you already know, but
We have been aware.
I know
Yeah.
you've been aware.
But thank you for reminding
Good
But
pick.
get
though.
ready.
Thank you for
Good
reminding
pick.
us. Good
Get
pick.
ready.
Good pick.
Thank you
Good
for
Get ready. Go on.
This guy's mostly a winger, right mid, I want to say, but I want to put him in center mid because this is a player that I talked about last week, and I think he's a really, really, really underrated player in Diego Simeone's system. And it's his son, Juliano Simeone.
Okay.
When I think of, I'm going to say this word again for the second time in this pod, grinta, I think of Juliano Simeone and
What does that
this
mean?
season. It means like wanting to win, like yeah, exactly. Like I don't know how to, like Valverde has a lot of grinta, like he
Yeah.
fucking wants to win so bad. You know what I mean? But he's always the hardest working player on that Atletico Madrid pitch. You can
Only
tell
22, eh?
only 22, yeah.
Wow.
And his story is incredible. Like he
Yeah,
was
that's nice.
he was like a ball boy for Atletico Madrid. There's pictures of him celebrating with his dad in 2014 when they made the final.
Nice.
Like it's really incredible, his story. But on the pitch, you can tell he wants to succeed so bad. He's the hardest working player on that pitch. His quality on the ball is really, really underrated. You talk about Griezmann in Atletico Madrid as one of the players with the best quality on the ball, but Juliano Simeone usually goes under the radar because you have fucking Griezmann on there. Like
Yeah.
you're not really gonna take Juliano Simeone over that. But honestly, this season, I think they're on par with each other.
Definitely beaten the nepotism allegations.
Yes, 100% beating the
Yes.
nepotism allegations.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he's so class, and he's starting for Argentina now too, which is even a
yes.
bonus. Obviously, Messi was injured,
Yeah.
and he started at right wing, but to get an international cap on top of that, I think I love the story and I love watching this player.
No, that's it.
So I had to put him in here.
It's a good pick.
Okay. Fair enough.
Let's go.
We move on to the attack.
We move on to the attack.
I want
lads.
Blake to start.
Do we want Blake to start? Look at that grin on his face. This guy is Trossard and Martinelli in there.
Wait, okay, so what position you want to start?
Left wing, right?
Start left wing.
Left wing?
Go left wing, right wing striker.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm doing all of them?
No. Just start.
Okay, so this is like I didn't know where to put these two, but
Mm.
I have it in Burmo and Wissa. I don't know if they're strikers or they're
Oh,
wingers.
shit.
Fair.
But these again, they're like a bulk player. These two players are like the most annoying players to play against in the Premier League, without a doubt.
Yep.
They are so fast, they are so physical, they know when to get in front of the goal, and when they get in front of goal, they score. They both have like 14 and 15
Facts.
goals respectively in the
Facts.
league. That's your front two man with 30 goals. If any team has that fighting for a Champions League spot or even the title, that's a great two man to have.
Who are you picking though? Mbemo?
I'd go.
Wissa's more striker, right?
Yeah, I go in Burmo. I think he's the better player. I think there's more to him. But they're both just absolutely fantastic.
Facts.
So good.
Okay.
And I just don't think that like they're regarded. Like everyone knows Chris Wood is amazing, but I think people forget about how good Burmo is.
So are you putting both of them in your team or just the one on the left?
No, I'll put Burma on the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My left wing, this is a position we all kind of struggled with. My whole front three. I did this in the studio. You guys saw me. This is where my list kind of falls off.
Okay.
Left wing, I was debating Malik Tillman.
Okay.
I did my research on him. Hell of a player. The Twitter comps did go hard, I have to say. His shot, genuinely looking fantastic. I was going to say when we were talking about Timmy Weah that the American wingers they have coming through. I know
Wow,
they already
Americans know how to
places
shoot. Who would have thought that would have worked out?
That was good.
Thanks.
That was good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
That was good.
That was
All
really
right.
good.
Genuinely though, one of the best. Like he has that knuckle technique.
Mhm.
You know, he finishes like Wayne.
What were you
Rooney.
gonna say? One of the best what?
Like one of the best finishes I've seen.
Okay. Wow.
This is why I don't know. Man.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's
Okay.
bold.
But who's the player you're actually picking then? Or that's the player you're picking?
It was
Because you just talked about 5 minutes for a player you're not even gonna pick.
It was between him and Rodrigo. But Rodrigo's rated.
Lad, if you fucking have Rodrigo on that list, leave the studio. There's a fucking issue. Oh.
Exactly. And I put him on the left because, like,
You
I
have
think it's
Rodrigo?
an actual position. No, I don't actually have Rodrigo.
No, he
So
does.
who do you have?
I have Tillman.
But no, he has
Nah, he has Rodrigo, bro. It's right, Rodrigo. on
That's
his
fair.
thing.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Oh my
That's fair.
I'll put Tillman on
No,
the
it's fair.
actual
No,
list.
no,
it's fair.
no.
It's fair. If you believe that,
State
that's
your
fair.
case for
If you believe
Rodrigo.
that's fair.
I'll talk about Rodrigo,
State your case
but
for
he's
Rodrigo.
my honorable mention.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, like we have touched on this the past couple of weeks, Antoine,
Mhm.
he is like the ugly duckling of the Galacticos Real Madrid. If he was on literally any other team in the world, he would be regarded as one of the best players on the planet.
I don't disagree with you with that statement. I just think that he is fucking class, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
That's why
He has
I
a better
hesitate to
goal
put
scoring
him
record
on.
in the Champions League than R9 Ronaldo. He's getting up there with Vinny in terms of numbers
Yep.
in the Champions League. Like,
Yep.
no one's denying
That's
that.
why I debated not putting him on.
Fair.
That's why ultimately Malik made the list.
No,
instead.
he did not, dude.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Okay, give me yours. I had to.
Mine is Elias Ben Seguir from Monaco. What are you laughing at? No, it's not. No, it's not. You're not gonna like my striker then if you think that's a homer pick. Fuck.
Okay.
But no, very silky winger, not talked about at all. Top 2 attacking outlet for Monaco this season. And whenever he goes to Morocco, he chose Morocco over France as his nation, which big up to him. It's a hard decision to make because as a youngster, up and coming youngster,
You want France.
you want France,
Yeah.
but fair, big up to him.
Yeah.
But whenever he goes to Morocco, he fucking balls out.
Mhm.
He balls out. He is such a good player. His pass quality, his dribbling is so underrated. Him and Akliouche, man, on the left and the right. I don't have Akliouche on the right. I will spoil.
Okay.
But him and Akliouche for Monaco both will hit a top club in 2 to 3 years.
Valid.
Fair enough. Okay.
Are we at striker now?
Striker.
Is that me?
Go right wing.
Oh, we're doing right wing. Okay, you can
Go
start.
right
Then.
wing.
Bukayo Saka. And this is why, because when you said Rodrigo, this gave me the ammo, and then you said
I didn't put him
you
on- I
literally
didn't put
said
him on my list.
you literally said Vitinha would be the best player on your team because especially on this podcast, Bukayo Saka has continuously and every week in week out just been disrespected because he hasn't played a game in 3 months. And you said on any team in the world he would be considered the best player, and you guys don't consider him that. He is one of the best players in the world. Do you not agree? Exactly. You can. But Rodrigo, when we literally said they have the exact same stats, it's so easy for you to say, yep, he's the best player in the world. And then you call him the ugly duckling of Real Madrid. But you still consider him the best player in the world. When Saka has the same stats as Rodrigo, Saka has had even more of an impact. But you see when Arsenal doesn't have him for 3 months, what happened to our title chances. Saka has been the guy. He's compared to every player. He's compared to every up-and-coming winger, every established winger. He's always the benchmark, and he never gets the respect that he deserves from this podcast specifically. And it pisses me the fuck off that he doesn't get the respect that he deserves because he is one of the best players in the world, and it's undoubted. It's undoubtable.
In what world is Saka making
even switching
an
to that. Not even switching to that.
underrated 11
Because
list?
you guys don't respect him. You
No.
underrate him.
No one
You
is
don't think he's
fucking
good.
underrating him.
You guys don't think he's good. I guarantee you don't
he
think
is
he's
a
good.
top 3 winger on the planet, and every single person in the footballing world agrees with that.
I don't think you guys agree with that. I don't think he agrees with that.
We're not, lad. We're
Right
making.
winger
We're
on the
making.
planet.
We're making.
No, but do you think he's
No. Listen, we're making an underrated 11
he's
based on the
underrated.
general population
Yeah,
of football
and
fans.
I agree.
And you think Saka is
Yeah,
making that
because
list.
90 people,
No, the
90%
fuck he
90% of
isn't.
people think Rodrigo's better than him, and that's not true either. So
Blake.
no, I'm
I think you have to
can't
reconsider.
think-
no, I'm not gonna
I
reconsider.
think you
no,
have
I'm
to
not gonna
reconsider.
reconsider.
I think you have to.
No,
I
because
think you need.
do you think
to.
that you think Dembele's better than Saka? You
I
think
think-
Salah's better than Saka? You think Rodrigo's better than Saka?
I think you need to reconsider.
No, I'm not.
I think Saka's a top class player. Top class player.
And everybody,
Do you think-
everybody
but
thinks
everybody agrees.
Do you
with
think he's
that.
one of the best players in the world?
I think he's one of the best right wingers in the world.
Do you see what I mean?
But what?
that. I
But-
do see what he means.
No, because why can you not just admit it? This is why. This is the stipulation. This is the stigma behind Saka. There's always
Stigma?
but best right winger.
Stigma?
No, he's the best player. He's a top 5 Premier League player period. Might be top 3. There's an argument.
I agree.
There's an argument that after after Haaland and Salah, there is not a better player in the Premier League than Saka.
No.
But what do you mean no? Who's better?
No, I mean Kevin De Bruyne in terms of legacy,
No.
absolutely.
What do you mean in terms of fucking legacy? What are you
you
talking
can't-
Not
about?
okay, not right now.
You can't
Alexander
say
Isak, fuck, easy.
Arguably, you
William,
can argue
William
that.
Saliba, easy.
Yeah, and Saka
Virgil van Dijk, easy.
No, but see, what do you
Yes,
mean easy? Do you
just
see-
yes.
This is why you disrespect him continuously, and it makes me mad because you don't understand his impact. You clearly don't. Look at our attack without him. Look at it. There's
I'm
nothing.
looking at it, dude.
No, you're not. You
I'm
don't
looking at it.
understand.
But that's exactly why he shouldn't make an
That's
underrated
exactly
level.
why
winner.
he should, because you underrate him continuously. You underrate his impact and his value compared to the other players in his position.
So you're making this list based off of me. Basically.
and
Is that what we're
and
doing?
other people who have continuously compared.
No.
Cole Palmer's better. Foden's better. I said Foden was better in the Euros, and then he proved me wrong. I've literally said that Foden was better, and he proved me wrong. Who else? Any other winger in the Premier League that comes up, he's clear of them.
We know.
That's
We
exactly
know that.
fucking
We
why.
know that.
Cole Palmer or Saka?
Saka. But that's exactly why.
Yes, bro.
That's exactly
Finally
why.
getting in
That's
your head.
exactly why, Blake. He shouldn't be making an underrated 11 list.
Nah, you should be.
No, he fucking shouldn't.
Nah, you should be.
Everybody knows he's class. No one's denying
Everybody
that.
knows he's
No,
class.
but
Just because we've had one or two arguments about players better than him,
Yeah, but that's
and
wrong.
you've disagreed.
No, it's wrong.
No, you've disagreed. It's not wrong. You've disagreed.
No,
There's
it's
a
wrong.
difference. There's a distinct difference between the two. Just because we had those arguments doesn't mean that we're underrating him.
No, it is. In my opinion, you are.
To
And
say-
the underrated is opinion. And
Oh.
in my opinion, that's what it is.
to say that you think he's a 90 when everybody thinks he's an 85 is one thing.
That's kind of what I do think, honestly. At this point.
You are saying that you think he's a 90 when everyone's saying he's an 89.
No, I
There's
disagree.
the margin.
He says
between-
Dembele's better than him. He says
The margin between what you think Saka is and where everybody else thinks Saka is so small. You just think he's top 3 rather than top 5,
No,
and
but-
because of your emotional connection
Sure.
to Salah, you have carried that into this massive debate over the past month.
it's my fucking list. I can put who I want on my fucking list.
You're not making this
Agreed.
list. You're not making this list
Agreed.
in accordance to what
No,
it-
I
But
am.
lad.
My list has been good up to now. I can make the fucking list who I want to put on. You two continuously underrate him, in my opinion. I think the general public does as well. I think many Arsenal fans would agree with me, and I believe that he is better than a lot of people think he is. And that's the end of the discussion. We can move on.
To shit on me for putting Vitinha in my team, and to then proceed,
Shit on me. Yeah, I'm taking
and
the
to
criticism.
then proceed to put Bukayo Saka,
Sure, you put Rodrigo on your list.
one
So
of the best wingers in the past 5 years.
you put Rodrigo on your list, so I don't know why the fuck you
I did not put Rodrigo on my list.
me see
I
that.
put Malik Tillman and Rodrigo as an honorable mention. You can check my list right now.
Either way, you can cry whatever you want. I don't care. Apparently Vitinha is better than him, so maybe it's just an Antoine bias, but he thinks every player is better than Saka, so I don't
I
don't
never
understand.
fucking said that, Blake.
You have said that.
No, I've
You've said it
never said
multiple
that.
times,
Okay.
and it's just crazy to me.
Dembele's better.
Exactly, he's not.
He
The
is.
only the aspect of your argument,
You're giving me ammo.
Do it.
the aspect of your argument that I can see where you're coming from is the poll between Rodrigo and Saka. I do agree.
And Dembele, apparently. Apparently Dembele's better than him.
I do agree that Rodrigo is better than Saka, but it was a very clear poll, 90% for Rodrigo.
And I think that's...
So maybe those
That's
25,000 people were smoking something that day, whatever you.
But
may
that's
think.
what underrated means. The general public doesn't... That feeds into my point.
But
the
I do
general
think.
public
But I
doesn't
do
rate
think he's
him.
better than Saka. I think the poll was correct.
Yeah, but I don't. And it's my opinion and my fucking list, so that's why it makes sense to me.
So fair enough.
Then so be it.
Call
Fair
me
enough.
stupid
Then it's your
again.
list.
Next week when I say something stupid again, bring this up and you can keep shitting on me. Go ahead. You guys do anyways. So fuck, have it. But when he wins a Ballon d'Or one day,
Listen,
when he wins
the
no,
next
but-
no
no, but if he wins
the next Saka goal, we're never hearing the end.
Oh my God! The
yeah, because he's
Saka
been
to
injured for 3
Gabriel on a
months,
corner.
bro. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God!
you guys realize this guy was on pace, like, to have a goal contribution a game, 15 goal contributions in 16 matches.
He's glass. We know.
No, you don't know.
He's
You
glass.
don't.
Yes,
He's
we do.
glass.
Dembele's better apparently. Vitinha's more impactful. Like, Rodrigo, even though they have the same stats, is miles clear. I'm not doing this, bro. Move on. And we should wrap up kind of soon.
Yeah, we should.
My
My right winger or your
go
right winger?
ahead. Go ahead, sir.
My right winger is Anthony. The Anthony.
Not terrible.
Not terrible.
I don't know what to think.
What
of
do you
that.
think of that?
Recency bias, perhaps.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Well,
think so.
little
I
racist
think
bias.
this is a player that has gotten.
So did you think he was
Way-
underrated on United last year?
When I watched him at United, I could tell that there was a player in him. I seriously could. I seriously could. I think this is a player that has gotten way too much hate. Way too much hate. Like,
he was so bad.
look, he might not have had the skill level for the Premier League. Let's put it that way. He may not have had the correct skill level
Yes.
for the Premier League.
Yes.
Is it his fault that United paid 80 million pounds to sign him?
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely not.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely not. Now we're seeing him in La Liga, quite frankly, balling out. He's balling out. Everyone's joking about him being the GOAT.
I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
Antoine, I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
No.
He's on a fucking sporting news list of best wingers in the world.
my God.
And they're gonna put Saka at 4, and he's gonna be like, "This is undeniable proof, ladies and gentlemen, that,
let me
that
just-
Saka is underrated."
let me
Glad
just
we
finish.
have moved on from it. Please do not bring up this argument again, Blake.
I didn't fucking bring it up. You fucking brought it up, actually.
You
so say
put him-
sorry. No,
you
apologize.
put him-
for-
you put him
no,
in your list.
Apologize.
You put him in your list.
Apologize for
You put him
no.
in your
You said
list.
don't bring it up again.
You put him
just,
in your
you
list.
just brought it up.
You put him in your
Apologize.
list.
Apologize.
You were gonna bring him up.
No, I wasn't. I was looking at shit. I can do whatever I want. I have free will.
Okay.
Apologize for
I'm
bringing
sorry.
it up again.
I thought Blake was gonna bring it up,
There you go.
but he's now
I was
not
gonna-
going
I was
to
gonna
bring
bring it
up.
Anyway,
Go ahead, Antoine.
You were talking about United, his impact at United. When I watched him at United, I thought that he at least put in a shift, unlike the others. Did you hear what I said?
No, I just punched him.
Okay.
in the knee.
I thought that he at least at United put in a shift, unlike the others.
Yeah, that's actually true. I
It-
thought that last
It,
season
it,
as well.
it is. Look, this season at Betis, I think he's kind of transformed his game. He's kind of went from this laughing stock, everybody joking about him, to actually somewhat getting a little bit more respect. And I think this is respect that he deserves. His link-up play with Isco is brilliant this season.
Yep.
It simply is. Everyone jokes about him being the GOAT and all this, but I think that slowly he's regaining that potential that he had and that ability that he had at Ajax initially, when everybody was looking at him and being like, yeah, this guy, he has the potential to be something really big. I think he's underrated in that way that everyone's clowning him. He's getting way too much fucking hate lately, but he's actually playing very, very well. If you
That's
actually
fair.
look at
Agreed.
games.
I don't think anyone's clowning him recently. I think everyone's has been seeing how good he's
But
playing.
he's been getting clowned way too much.
I think he's almost had a generational rise from underrated to overrated in like a matter of weeks.
No, absolutely.
he's getting there.
Absolutely. I don't know why Man United, or maybe it was a price tag, but why did Man United fans claim him to be so shit so quick?
Fair enough. Okay, well, moving on to my right winger. Again, shit part of my list. I don't want to spend too much time.
Yeah,
on
we
it.
should
I
quick
put
fire.
I put Mohamed Kudus. I couldn't really
He
think of
sucks.
anyone else.
He sucks.
I don't think he's that good.
He doesn't.
Okay,
suck.
maybe he is underrated. Jesus
I don't think he's that good.
Christ.
No, he's not. He doesn't suck. He,
I think he
I
fell
thought he
off.
was-
I think
thought
he had a
was-
good start to the season. I think he's
I thought he was rated. To be fair.
I was about to say he's rated as well.
Sure.
So, hey, I think he's a very solid in that 10 playing off the right kind of position. I wouldn't mind if United signed him genuinely. I think he has all the attributes to be a top player, and he's still relatively young. So I think he's solid, and I cannot believe after all these years he is still a West Ham United player.
Kinda crazy.
I think he's still due for a big move. I think he's just one of those players that is either going to get this move like this summer, or he's going to be condemned to a streets will never forget player playing for West Ham in his best years. So, yeah, shout out Kudus, get him out,
Shout out Kudus.
get him out. And it's a striker time now.
It
We'll
is
set a
striker time.
winger. Okay,
Who shall start? To be fair, Blake, I thought you said you had an Arsenal player on your list.
Mhm.
I was not expecting it to be Bukayo Saka. Obviously, I thought it was gonna be Mikel Merino at striker.
Nwaneri, I was like,
Nope.
I was going to the shit on,
Yeah, I was gonna shit on Nwaneri if he said.
but I understand it way more than this. Anyways, we can't bring it up.
Yeah.
We can't bring it up. We can't. Bring it
Apologies.
up. Okay, let's move on to striker.
Yeah.
Blake, you want to start us off?
Evertegui, he's leading the league. Or he has like 22 goals in the Serie A.
Yeah.
Not much. Arsenal's linked with him. I don't have much to say.
Yeah, no, he's been
Matteo
class.
Retegui, I was actually looking at that as
He's
well.
a really
he's
good
been
finisher.
class.
Who's my player to watch for Italy for the Euros?
Not much else to say.
Suck
He's
it up,
having
though.
a crazy good
Huh?
season.
Did he even start for Italy at the Euros? I don't think he did.
I don't think
No,
so.
I think it was Scamacca.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still a youngster. He took a while to really get going.
He's not
It
really
looked
young.
he
He's
was-
like 26.
yeah. So when he was a young player, it took a little
Oh.
while to get going there.
Mhm.
I thought you called him a youngster.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's also in the Champions League that he's doing this. It's not only in
Mhm.
Serie A.
Mhm.
He's actually scoring goals in the Champions League too, which is well now they're
He was,
yeah
yeah.
he was, but it's also part of his game that's pretty underrated too in the big games.
I got you.
I like that.
Facts. Okay. My striker, staying in the Serie A, staying on Atalanta, I have Charles de Ketelaere.
Yes, I like
Yeah,
that.
that's a
You
good
know,
pick.
I really like that.
Kind of flop allegations after his time at AC Milan. I understand it didn't exactly hit the ground running. He's a very weird type of player. That tall guy that has amazing dribbling and is more of a chance creator as striker than a goal scorer.
Okay.
That's more of his natural instinct. And it works way better at Gasparini's Atalanta than it did at AC Milan.
Oh, totally,
100%.
totally.
He had a really good season last year. This season, only 10 goal contributions, but his impact on the game goes way beyond GA. So he's one of those players. And
I remember he had you're talking about beyond GA, but he had a Champions League game with 4 assists this
Yes.
season. 4 assists.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he can't have scorchers like that. Absolutely. But just generally his play to the game, his impact, what he brings.
And I also want to point out it's very promising for Belgium
Yes.
because they're dealing with an aging Lukaku now, and not many strikers coming up.
True.
You had Mertens, you had Lukaku, but now it looks like De Ketelaere is going to be that guy next up, and he's showing very very promising signs. Did you know Belgium sacked their manager again, or the old one,
For
the
real?
one after Roberto Martinez they sacked? Now it's Rudy Garcia.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a little tangent.
Mm.
Off to my striker now. I went with Ben Seguir on the left and his striker up top, Mika Biereth.
That's a good pick, actually.
Yeah.
I like that pick.
Monaco.
11 goals this season?
Yeah, 11 goals this season. Monaco or Arsenal academy player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's talking about him. Seriously, nobody's talking about Mika Biereth. He has 11 goals this season for Monaco, and he joined from Sturm Graz in January.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
He has 3 hat-tricks already. Nobody is talking about him. I think his link-up play with Akloosh and Ben Seguir, seriously, that trio in Ligue 1 is a top 2 trio in Ligue 1, obviously apart from PSG. This is the second best attacking trio in Ligue 1 for sure. His link up with those 2 players is really impressive, and his off the ball movement is also great. Probably one of the best I've seen this season. Yeah, I thought no one's talking about him, so I have to put him in here.
Valid. Valid.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our list.
That will do with the 11s.
Wow.
I think this one, I'm much more impressed with our
Can I
list
just say-
than the over.
I want to say something too after you go.
I had Saka penciled in like as soon as we had this conversation.
Okay.
That this was gonna be.
I also want to say it went more controversial than I thought it would. I didn't think an underrated 11 list would bring out that many debates as it did.
That's a
Shout
long
out-
pod.
Mostly
shout out to you.
positive until the front 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you seriously have him penciled in right away?
As soon as we
First
had
player
this,
on your list was
I swear to God.
Who was my first player on my list? Low key, it was Anthony.
solid.
Like I actually I would die for this guy, man.
Who was yours?
I would die.
Mine was Yohan Garcia, obviously. I had 3 hours ago. No. 3.5 hours ago. Did not know he existed.
Oh my God, Julian.
That's crazy.
That's unbelievable.
But bro, I do my research. I
Yeah.
looked into him and I
Mhm.
got a bunch of information for you guys. So when he goes to Barca or City in the summer, you come back and you go, I remember that. That's the guy that Julian mentioned.
Mm.
All right. So remember the name.
I like that.
All right.
All right. So that'll do it.
Take
That'll
us
do
away.
it.
All right. No FPL roundup. this week.
Unbelievable.
Feels fantastic.
Do we need to do a no?
Fantastic.
It's we need to do a.
Nah.
There needs to be a game where it's Nations League FPL or something
Absolutely
like
Yeah.
that.
not.
International break
Absolutely
FPL.
not. Absolutely not. Lads, like, I don't even feel like usually an international break when it like FPL, I'm like yearning for the week to start and for me to start thinking
Yeah.
about my team.
This
Complete
time,
opposite. Now.
Wow.
I don't want to take another. I don't want to open that app
Wow.
until August.
Are we gonna see 2 resignations in one season?
But I can't have Miles pass me.
Yeah, no, you can't.
He has
You just
nothing
can't.
to lose.
Yeah.
I just can't have Miles beat me, bro.
When are we ordering that Bruno kit?
He has it. I know you don't.
I don't have it.
I'm not ordering. I'm not buying it. That was not the deal. You have to buy
No,
it.
yeah, that was not the deal. You're right.
That's
We'll buy it.
we have to buy it for the studio.
We do.
Do.
We're buying a Fabian kit too. Fuck me.
Let's do it. All right, let's get out of here. It's been 2 hours, bro. We gotta
Let's
go.
Get out of here. We're at 105 minutes.
We spent
Jesus
way
Christ.
too long on the international break.
We did. We did.
No, that's fine.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the 6-Yard Box podcast. Even though it's international break, we hope you enjoyed listening, and we really enjoy that Unrated 11 talk. Again, I think we enjoyed this international break as much as we could. There's been some notable games going on, some players that should retire, some teams that deserve more recognition, and some U21 players that Antoine may be recruiting soon to Leonard's little boys. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, of course, as always, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and do all those YouTube things. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, give us a 5-star rating and tell us your most underrated player. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Julian, it's been Antoine, and it's been Blake, and we will see you all next week.
Sack will be the best winger in the world next season.
Oh my
We
fucking
out!
God!
See ya.